By the Bronx faithful. In Texas, manager Johnny Oates has the Rangers in a tight Western race with RBI machine Juan Gonzalez and teammate Pudge Rodriguez. The division title is in their sights. It's no laughing matter in the American League. The Yankees and the Rangers next on FX Baseball Saturday Night. FX welcomes you to Arlington, Texas. Sellout crowd filing in for the second of a three-game weekend series between the New York Yankees and the Texas Rangers. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Baseball Saturday Night. Kenny Albert with former Yankee Rick Cerone. And not only do we have a potential playoff preview for you here tonight from Texas, but we will also bring you live to Pittsburgh as we check out Mark McGwire's pursuit of Roger Maris's home run record. And Rick, the Yankees in a chase of their own right now on pace to set a major league record for victories in a season.
And Kenny, I don't know where you start to describe them. They've been unbelievable all year long. 61 games over 500. That's a team that's driven. Everybody puts a quality at bat on you, and the starters especially, 72 and 24. Last night, whose turn is it to step up? Tino Martinez hits a pair of home runs. They win the ball game very comfortably, 5-0. David Wells shuts them out. But it's a team that every day they find a way to win a baseball game.
And the way to win last night for the Yankees, 4 solo home runs, a 5-0 victory over Texas. The Anaheim Angels also lost last night to the Blue Jays, so the Rangers still trail the Angels by a game and a half in the West.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very tough for the Rangers. Right now, both teams are struggling. You look at the AL West, Anaheim and Texas, they are struggling to find wins. And for Johnny Oates, it's really been the starters that have struggled. Tonight, John Burkett, one pitcher that has been struggling, needs to step up if the Rangers are going to win the AL West.
Well, Johnny Oates will look to his big bats tonight, led by Juan Gonzalez and Ivan Rodriguez, as they look to solve baseball's winningest pitcher.
If you had 40,000.
Back to a sold-out ballpark in Arlington. 13th sellout of the season for the second-place Texas Rangers, who have won only 2 of 9 against the New York Yankees this season. Yankees, the 5-0 victory last night. They lead the American League with a batting average of .287. Chuck Knobloch will lead things off, followed by Derek Jeter. They both homered last night. Paul O'Neill will bat third. The American League batting leader, Bernie Williams, in the cleanup spot. Tino Martinez bats 5th. Chili Davis, the DH, who returned earlier this week from the DL, will bat 6th. Darryl Strawberry leads the Yankees in home runs. Scott Brocious, the third baseman, and catcher Joe Girardi will bat 9th against 33-year-old right-hander John Burkett with a record of 7 and 13.
You look at the numbers, 7 and 13, he struggled. Doesn't walk you. Very difficult, but the one thing that they've told me is there's not a lot of this difference between his fastball and his outstanding changeup right now. You see, only 38 walks, 114 strikeouts, but in his last 13 starts, just 3 and 8 is John Burkett.
John Burkett said last week, right now I feel like I have been the weak link. I don't want to be the weak link anymore. Burkett 0-3 lifetime against the Yankees. His battery mate, of course, is Pudge Rodriguez, the best. He's thrown out 54% of base stealers.
Ivan Rodriguez, the best in baseball, no question about it. And the other thing, Kenny, you just can't get off the bases too far. He'll pick you off in a second. 26 pickoffs also. Well, make that 22 pickoffs since 1996, and he is as good as they get behind the plate.
And Burkett pitching on 3 days rest. He was scheduled to face the Red Sox this past Monday night. The game was rained out. He pitched Tuesday, a 4-1 loss. Burkett only 3 and 8 over his last 13 starts. His most memorable game, a complete game victory over David Cone, his opponent tonight, in Game 1 of the 1996 Division Series. Chuck Knobloch leads it off for the Yankees and takes ball 1, 90 degrees. Here in Arlington, Knobloch led off last night's game with his 17th home run of the season. Foul ball down the left field line. The 17 homers, most by a Yankees second baseman since Joe Gordon back in 1943. He's hit 13 of the 17 since the All-Star break, only 2 fewer than Mark McGwire.
Yeah, move over, Mark McGwire. It's Chuck Knobloch who's been swinging the home run bat. See, during his 7-game hitting streak, and you mentioned that leadoff homer, 5th leadoff homer for Knobloch this season. Have to go all the way back to '87 with Ricky Henderson, who's known for leadoff home runs, who had more.
Here's the 1-1 from Burkett. Strike called by the home plate umpire Brian Onora. Rich Garcia, the crew chief, working first base tonight. Mike Riley, the second base umpire, and Tim McClelland down at third. 1-2 on the Yankees leadoff man, Chuck Knobloch, here in the first. And it gets by Mark McLemore, so Knobloch with a leadoff single for the New York Yankees.
Well, we talked about the Yankees. What makes them special? I really believe you have to look at the top of the order. Knobloch, high on base percentage. Nice base hit to right field to get things going. Fastball down and away, shoots it to right field. But you look at Knobloch and Jeter, they really set the table for the rest of this lineup.
So with Knobloch at first, into the box steps Derek Jeter, who also homered last night. He drove in a pair of runs. Against the Rangers this year, Jeter batting .488, 20 of 41. As he takes ball one, he's hit 4 of his 16 homers against Texas.
Yeah, how about the home run he hit last night? Straight away center field, no cheapie. 16 home runs, a career high for Derek Jeter. He's just getting bigger, stronger, and he knows the league a lot better.
Off-speed pitch misses, now 2-0 with Knobloch. The runner on first. Top of the first inning. Jeter 6th in the American League, batting .322.
Knobloch not stealing as much as he has in the past, only 11 stolen bases.
He was second in the American League last year, and a base hit into center field. Knobloch holds at second. Hit number 157 for Derek Jeter, which is second in the American League. So the Yankees with 2 men on here in the top of the first.
Well, there they go, getting on base. Now the big hitters can drive them in. Now, they have been doing it all year. The thing about the Yankees, they put quality at bats on you. Every one. They really work the count. They're willing to take walks, and they have a lot of confidence in the guys hitting behind them.
Paul O'Neill breaking out of his slump. 2 for 4 last night. Runners on first and second. Knobloch down at second base. Jeter, the runner on first. O'Neill went through an 0 for 15 spell earlier this week, but he snapped out of it with 4 base hits over the last 2 games.
Talk about intensity. This guy, look it up in the dictionary, you see a picture of Paul O'Neill. Does not believe, does not, and he refuses to give away any at-bats.
Even at 93 and 32, he strikes out. Look out in the dugout.
He's gotten a lot better. His wife got all over him, saying they got to cut that out because the cameras tend to follow Paul in the dugout.
Fouls it back, 2-1.
So the one thing we're seeing already in the first inning, Burkett, not a lot of difference between his changeup and his fastball. At one time, used to throw over 90 miles an hour, right around 90, 91. But that's down to 85, 86 miles an hour, and the difference is the deception of the changeup.
Burkett spins. Looks Knobloch back to second. Back-to-back singles here in the first inning off the bats of Chuck Knobloch and Derek Jeter. Paul O'Neill at the plate. Bernie Williams waiting on deck. Up the middle. And the Rangers turn 2. Clayton stepped on second, threw over to Will Clark. Knobloch moves over to third. with 2 away.
Well, pretty good job by Burkett, able to get Paul O'Neill, who hits into a lot of double plays. Looked like a changeup moving down and away, and he hit it right back up the middle for the easy double play. Gets him out on his front foot. Clayton has to go to the ground, but with O'Neill running, plenty of time to turn the double play.
Well, O'Neill has grounded into now 18 double plays, 4th most in the American League. 2 outs. Here's Bernie Williams. Leads the league, 347 average. And the big talk in New York, Bernie becomes a free agent following the 98 season. It's very close with Buck Showalter.
You're starting something.
Oh, I didn't start.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bernie Williams, there would be 29 teams lining up to get Bernie Williams. Switch hitter with power, speed, plays center field as good as anybody in baseball.
The New York papers brought up the Williams Showalter connection way back in spring training.
I know they have, and you know what, Bernie, the one thing about him, he has not let playing out this year affect his performance. Has spent some time on the disabled list, but this is a class guy. And you wonder sometimes, is it worth going the free agent route, especially if a player that's happy where he is? You know, does it make that much difference with the amount of millions they're talking about nowadays? Seem to be having a problem with the lights in center field. See, Brian O'Nora and Richie Garcia had a little conversation. I think maybe those 4 little lights that you see in center field right around here, this little area, might be what's causing the distraction. I'm not real sure. Hitters don't want any kind of distractions in straightaway center field. There's those 4 little lights.
Bernie hit a game-winning home run against the Rangers just 6 days ago in the bottom of the 9th at Yankee Stadium. And the 0-1 from Burkett. This is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They're going to pitch Bernie very carefully, but the one thing about this Yankee lineup, I mentioned it right here in the first inning, they have a lot of confidence in the guys that are hitting behind them. They really don't expand the strike zone as much as pitchers want them to.
Now 2-1 on Williams with 2 outs, top of the first inning. Chuck Knobloch, the runner on third. David Cohen on the mound for the Yankees tonight, looking for Major League leading win number 19. Now 2-2.
Looked like he went to an off-speed pitch, 2-1, and Burkett really has to do that to be effective against the Yankees tonight. Look at Bernie's numbers: 2 outs and runners in scoring position, 365 on the season.
High and tight, full count.
Now you see what Burkett's trying to do. He's trying to work up and in, down and away, trying to get Williams to chase a bad pitch.
The payoff pitch to Williams, ball 4, so Bernie heads down to first. Burkett does not walk too many batters.
And we mentioned that only 39th walk of the season now for John Burkett.
He's 7th in the league in fewest walks allowed for 9 innings. He led the American League in that category a year ago.
And see, the one thing that gets overlooked with this Yankee team is how they make you work early in a game if you're a starter. And that adds up. 5th, 6th inning, you're out of the ball game. Now you have to turn it over to the pen because of the high pitch count. They make you work early in the game.
Here's Tino Martinez, who homered twice last night against Esteban Loaiza. On the other hand, the Yankee starters have pitched the most innings in the American League.
Now, their numbers are really ridiculous. 72 and 24, their starting staff.
Runners on the corners, 2 outs, 1-1 on Martinez, who drove in runs number 100 and 101 last night. His 3rd consecutive 100 RBI season.
I mean, yeah, you have to go back to Don Mattingly days when Donnie did it 4 years in a row. Very consistent, Tino Martinez.
Bernie Williams slides back in. Knobloch and Jeter led things off, back-to-back singles. O'Neill grounded into a 6-6-3 double play, and Burkett walked Bernie Williams. There's Knobloch, the runner on 3rd. Martinez pops it up. No chance for Rodriguez. 1-2.
You look at the problems John Burkett's had this year. 346 with runners on base. Well, not as much deception from the stretch as there is from the windup. You look at guys that have big discrepancies like that, you'd rather it be the other way around. Let them hit 340 with nobody on base, and then when you get runners on, you bear down a little more.
Burkett was the opening day starter. And he strikes out Tino Martinez. So Burkett works out of a jam. He allows 2 hits and a walk in the 1st inning, and the Yankees strand 2. The center fielder will lead it off, followed by second. Third, RBI leader Juan Gonzalez. In the number 4 spot, Will Clark bats 5th. Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate tonight, 5th in the American League at 325. Todd Zeile, Warren Newson, the DH tonight. And the shortstop who came over from the St. Louis Cardinals at the trade deadline, Royce Clayton. And they will face 18-4 David Cone. He leads the majors in victories, 7th in earned run average in the American League, 3.37.
Well, very gaudy numbers. 157 strikeouts, the 18-4 record for a guy who wasn't even supposed to start pitching again until mid-May. Remember, he had arthroscopic surgery in the offseason. They were hoping to get him back by May 15th, and here he is trying to win a Cy Young Award instead. Struggled early in the season, but he's been, as he explained it to me yesterday, doing it with mirrors. And I find that hard to believe because he has got very good stuff.
He must have a lot of mirrors.
No, he really does.
Tom Goodwin leads it off against Cone. And takes ball 1. Goodwin batting .289. Leads the Rangers with 31 stolen bases. In the air to right center. Paul O'Neill, 1 away. Now for an update in Pittsburgh, where the Pirates are hosting the Cardinals. Let's go to Fox Sports Pittsburgh's Greg Brown.
First inning, Mark McGwire facing Francisco Cordova. His first home run this year against the Pirates, his 52nd of the season. It travels 477 feet, gives the Cardinals the early 1-0 lead. McGwire would walk his second plate appearance after 2.5. The Bucks in front of the Redbirds 5-2. Now back to the ballpark in Arlington for the Rangers and Yankees.
Back in Texas, Mark McLemore steps in against David Cone with 1 out in the bottom of the 1st inning. So 2-0 on McLemore. Struggling at the plate, 0 for his last 9. 9 for his last 60. Up the middle, off the glove of Cone. And McLemore beats the throw from Knobloch. An infield hit for Mark McLemore. First hit of the game for the Rangers.
Yeah, I think that ball got a piece of Cone's glove. The ball was not hit hard. He jams McLemore. That hits off his glove, slows it down. Knobloch has to change direction, and that enables Mark McLemore for the infield single. So
a 1-out base runner for the Rangers. There's Knobloch, whose father, Ray, attended the game last night. First Yankee game he has seen during the regular season.
He responded very nice with a home run, leadoff home run. I guess Chuck Knobloch's college coach was also here from Texas A&M.
Rusty Greer batting .295. 80 runs batted in. He hit a grand slam against the Yankees last Saturday. Yankees took 3 of 4 from the Rangers at Yankee Stadium. You see the numbers against David Cone.
Yeah, most hitters, major league hitters, have those type of numbers against David Cone.
I know you were a teammate of David's. What were your numbers against him, if you had a guess?
Well, you know what? I was lucky. I never got to face him in an actual ball game. I got to catch him. And I'd much rather catch him than face him because he can come from different arm angles. Very fast, good hard fastball. Splitter has become an excellent pitch for him.
Strike call, 2-1.
See, that's one of the difference with Cone now and maybe 10 years ago. 2-0 splitter just freezes Rusty Greer. I think one way, if you try to beat David Cone with Girardi behind the plate, who's been struggling this year, only throwing out 8 out of 50 base runners, you got to try to force the issue against Cone. McLemore 12 of 16 in the stolen base department. I think against quality pitchers, especially a guy like Cone, you try to manufacture runs early in the ballgame because they really do not give up an awful lot of runs.
Cone has got terrific run support from his teammates this year. They scored 7 runs a game in his 24 starts. 1.87 best against any team in the American League during the course of David Cone's career.
Oh, that's some filthy numbers. 8-3 with an ERA under 2.
And he walks Greer. McLemore moves over to second. We mentioned Burkett was high on the list in terms of fewest walks per 9 innings. So is Cone. He's 9th in the league in that department.
Yeah, Kenny, that's part of what I was talking about. The good pitchers find a way to settle down. You see he's given up 10 first-inning runs. A lot of the better pitchers struggle in that first inning, and part of the reason is adjusting from the bullpen mound to that game mound. Every pitcher says it's a little bit different. Takes you a good 15 to 20 pitches to get used to it.
What's different about it?
Well, the slope, some of the bullpen mounds are a lot flatter. Then all of a sudden you put a major league hitter in there also.
This guy is certainly a major league hitter. Juan Gonzalez, 35 homers. He's driven in 121, 3 behind Sammy Sosa.
And he's also had 4 career home runs against David Cone. Gonzalez loves to get those arms extended. Drive the baseball.
2 on, 1 out. 1-1. Gonzalez drove in 101 by the All-Star break. And people started talking about Hank Wilson. He slowed down a bit since then. Would need to average 2 per game to reach 190.
Well, that makes you appreciate how difficult it is to get 190 RBIs in a 162 game schedule. But this guy can get hot and have 15, 20 in a week.
He can get hot, but can he get Hank?
Get hacked? I don't think so. Actually, falling behind now. Sammy Sosa,
124.
has 124 RBIs.
Hank Wilson is all of 5'6".
5'6".
5'6", and he drove in 190 runs in one season.
But he could swing that shillelagh.
1-2 on Juan Gonzalez. McLemore down at second. Greer, the runner, on first. And Cone strikes out Gonzalez.
Well, that's what makes David Cone so difficult. different arm angles. We're going to take a look at the whole pitch sequence. Runners in scoring position. Watch him. Here he goes. Breaking ball misses. He's going to come right back to the breaking ball. Not a good one, but for a strike. Splitter that Gonzalez fouls off. Now he's going to get a little filthier, make him expand the zone on the sweeping slider. But you saw different arm angles, different looks for the hitter.
Here's Will Clark with 2 outs. Will has not fared well against David Cohn throughout the course of his career. Only 1 home run in 53 at-bats, batting .226. And recently, Clark only 2 for his last 18. 2 on, 2 out. 1-1.
I asked Will by the batting cage tonight, what do you do against David Cohn? He says, oh boy, he's got so many different pitches. He says, what you try to do is make him get the fastball or the ball up. And he was talking about how important it is to recognize out of his hand which pitch is coming. And the one he kept talking about was the splitter.
Gets away from Girardi. And the runners advance. McLemore down to third. Greer over to second.
I think maybe Joe Girardi was crossed up, but that ball just ate him up behind the plate. It looked like the splitter. Sometimes it can act like a fork ball or a knuckleball. You saw he didn't even get leather on that ball. That ball hit him on the wrist. No leather. And maybe it did act like a knuckleball.
Girardi, Cohn's personal catcher over the last couple of years. A drive to right. O'Neill back on the track. He's got it. So like the Yankees in the first inning, the Rangers strand 2 base runners. 2 up for the Yanks. Chili Davis, Darryl Strawberry. Texas, we move to the top of the second inning. Yankees and the Rangers scoreless. Chili Davis activated from the disabled list in Kansas City this past Monday. Will lead it off for the Yanks. Here's a guy who has averaged 93 runs batted in over the last 5 seasons, hit 30 homers with the Royals last year. All of a sudden added to the Yankees roster in late August.
I mean, they didn't have to go out and make a trade. They had a healthy bat coming off their bench, getting healthy at the right time. I mean, that's the thing that Joe Torre talked about today. He says it doesn't matter who we plug into the lineup. They're able to do the job. There's the lifetime numbers, 328 career home runs for Chili.
So you have 4 guys now, Davis, Strawberry, both in the lineup tonight. Tim Raines and Chad Curtis splitting 1 outfield position and the DH slot, and nobody has complained about it.
Yeah, no, and you know what? Joe talked about that in his office. He said, I give the players a lot of credit because they really have helped me in this tough job.
Chili falls behind 1-2. He's 5 of 14 since returning. 0 for 3 last night. The 1-2 from Burkett. Fouled off down the left field line.
You know, just to explain what Torre was saying, in other words, on some teams it could become a problem. Guys that are used to playing an awful lot now become part-time players. And he says, I thank the players because they're willing to sacrifice their egos for the team. And he says this is the greatest team he's ever been involved with, meaning team in a whole. In other words, they really care for each other and they play hard every day.
2-2 on Davis, and it becomes a problem on many teams when you have 1 extra guy and 2 positions. With the Yankees, it's 2 extras.
Yeah, he's even talking about his starters. He says, I got 6 quality starters. I had to put one of my guys, Mendoza, down in the bullpen. He's handled that very well.
Base hit into left field. 3rd hit of the game for the Yankees, and they have the leadoff man on. for the second consecutive inning. And folks, Rick Cerrone is awaiting your email questions. Any question you have for Rick, send it along to mci@foxsports.net. Our MCI interactive fan, you can ask Rick anything you want.
Oh,
baseball related or not.
Yeah, we'll try to help you out.
mci@foxsports.net.
Not very good on those old-time trivia questions, though.
And Darryl Strawberry hits the first pitch into center field. Goodwin 2 steps to his right. 1 away. We call it Dear Rick.
Dear Rick, like Dear Abby. Okay, Dear Rick. See if we can help you out on the inside stuff that goes on in baseball.
1 out. Runner on first. Scott Brocious, who came over in the Kenny Rogers deal from Oakland. And what a job he's done at the plate. 284 average. He's driven in 75 runs from the number 8 slot.
Well, I mean, that's tremendous production down low in your order. Turns over your batting order a couple of more times during a game. I mean, it's just a tremendous job, and got to give an awful lot of credit to the young general manager, Brian Cashman, Bob Watson also, who's departed, but able to see something after that horrendous year Brocious had last year with Oakland.
Inside 2-0. Brocious 14 home runs, one of 8 Yankees in double figures.
I mean, they had to see something they liked. He hit 203 last year, Brocious. Only 11 home runs and 41 RBIs for the A's.
And the Yankees, of course, in '96, the year they won the World Series, went with a platoon, Wade Boggs and Charlie Hayes. The 3-0 pitch, strike call, 3-1.
What I've seen from Brocious, very good triple hitter. 3-1 counts, 2-0 counts. What he does, he forces you to throw the fastball in the area he wants to handle. Usually middle of the plate, up, so he can drive the ball.
Now 3-2. The Yankees 61 games over 500. They've already won more games than '96, the club which won the World Series. They've lost only 3 of their last 45 series. We can go on.
What are they
on
on pace to win? 121 ball games?
121, which would eclipse the Major League record by 5. And the American League record by 10. There's the Major League record, the Cubs, back in 1906. The American League record, the 1954 Indians, won 111. Davis going, and Brocious finds the hole into left field. And Davis slides into third, so the Yankees with runners on the corners with 1 out.
Well, 3-2 count. Torrey says, I know Chili Davis doesn't run good, but I'm going to put him in motion. Good things happen when you have infielders moving. Brocious got a fastball to handle and hammered it by Clayton at short. Fastball away. But good contact and hit it hard. 2 hops over Clayton's dive, and Chili able to go all the way to third.
Yankees with 2 hits in each of the first 2 innings against Burkett. Here's the number 9 hitter, Joe Girardi, the Yankees catcher. Jorge Posada catches about 60-65% of the Yankee games. And Girardi has been very gracious over the last couple of years in bringing Posada along. Girardi, a veteran.
You look at Burkett, usually starts off pretty well, but still very inflated numbers, no matter what the inning is.
Base hit right field. Davis in to score, and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. RBI number 27 for Joe Girardi.
Just trying to put the bat on the ball, and really Chili Davis getting high fives because of the hustle going first to third on Brocious' single. Girardi a contact hitter. First ball hitter all the way, gets the breaking ball, the inside-out swing. You saw how he was going to try to hit it the other way. The hands way inside the ball, drives it in the hole between first and second for the RBI single.
So the Yankees have taken a lead for the 50th time in the last 51 games. They set a major league record as Knobloch takes a strike.
I got to ask a question, Kenny. Where's the guy that sits home and watches all these games to know that little stat? Taking the lead in 48 straight games. They never trailed.
That streak was broken on Thursday, and we are told by that guy sitting somewhere the previous record was 40.
Okay.
Knobloch singled his first time up. Falls behind here in the second inning, 0-2. Yankees 1 run in here in the second against Burkett on 3 hits. 2 men on. Brocious down at second. Girardi, the runner on first.
I wonder if Knobloch knows that Mark McGwire hit a home run. He's trying to keep pace with McGwire this second half of the season.
Since the All-Star break, McGwire with 15, Knobloch 13. Could this be number 14? No, it will stay in the ballpark, and the catch is made by Juan Gonzalez. Brocious moves over to third.
Well, he gave it a bid. Knobloch, the power numbers, 17 home runs on the year, and you know what the players do? They look up. You saw Knobloch wants to see the replay of where that pitch was. Sometimes what they'll do right now, they'll go back in the clubhouse. Videotape is taken over these days, and they'll go look at each at bat, sit down and say, boy, how did I miss that pitch? And here's what I was talking about in the first inning. 40 pitches already for John Burkett, just the second inning. Keep adding them up. By the 5th, 6th inning, you're out of the ball game.
Remember, working on 3 days rest. He pitched on Tuesday. Derek Jeter singled up the middle, his first time up. 2 outs, first and third. Outside for ball 1. A bunch of us were talking about it last night. Who would be the Yankee MVP if you were to choose one player? Derek Jeter received many of the votes.
Yeah, and I put it to Joe Torre, and he wouldn't comment on it. He said it's not fair to the rest of the players.
Jeter now 2 for 2 as the Yankees take a 2-0 lead. RBI number 66 on the season for the third-year shortstop as Brocious comes in to score. Yankees with 4 base hits here in the second, and Dick Bosman will come out to chat with Burkett.
Tries to go off speed, but it's up in the strike zone. Jeter gets his hands through. RBI single to left. We've seen Burkett make a lot of mistakes now in the middle of the plate against the best hitting team in baseball. Just can't afford to do that.
Burkett has allowed 110 earned runs, most in the American League this season. The last coming on an RBI single off the bat of Derek Jeter. 2 hits tonight, 158 on the season. Second not only in hits, but runs and multi-hit games as well.
One thing Torre did say about Jeter was the one guy he feared losing in his lineup. They were able to play for an extended period without Jeter. Soho did a nice job filling in, but I really think, talking to the guys, that right now he would be the most valuable player.
The only player in the American League with more hits than Jeter is one of his best friends, Alex Rodriguez. When the Yankees play in Seattle, Jeter does not stay in a hotel. He stays with Rodriguez. Vice versa, when the Mariners travel to New York, he stays in Jeter's apartment. They do that back in your day?
Yeah, there were certain guys that you were very friendly with, where you would stay in their apartments and stuff like that, because nowadays you see it more so because guys are traded so much. They move an awful lot. And they've played with so many different guys on different teams.
Paul O'Neill grounded into a 6-6-3 double play in the first inning. 2 outs. 2 men on. Girardi, the runner, on second. Jeter down at first. Yankees with 2 runs on 6 hits over the first 2 innings. to the right side. Oh, a diving stop by McLemore as he robs O'Neill. And that finally puts an end to the Yankees' second. They scored 2 runs on 4 hits and scrammed 2 thanks to Mark.
You have to be impressed. Look at the intensity. This is a team that's 61 games over 500. I don't know where they get the fire from in their belly.
Joe Torre called a team meeting last week. He was not happy with some of the errors on the base paths. The Yankees were 90 and 30 at the time.
It's an amazing story. Amazing story.
So we move to the bottom of the second. Rodriguez, Zeal, and Newson for the Texas Rangers. Rangers hoping to play in October as well. They trailed the Angels by a game and a half in the AL West 2 weeks ago. The Rangers led Anaheim by 3 games. The Angels have won 9 of 13 since then, while Texas has dropped 8 of 12. Angels in action tonight, just underway against the Blue Jays. Pudge Rodriguez fouls it back, 1-1.
I think for my money, if you were to build a team today, you'd start with Ivan Rodriguez. This guy can throw out runners, play every day behind the plate, and look what he does offensively. Really double power. 325 average. He is just an outstanding catcher and an offensive player too.
1-2. We mentioned earlier he's thrown out over 50% of potential base stealers. That's unheard of these days.
Yeah, and he's a very tough hitter at the plate. He uses the whole field.
The 1-2 from Cone. Outside, now 2-2.
Now let's take a look at Ivan Rodriguez, batter's profile. Uses the whole field. Really likes to hit the ball the other way. Great situational hitter. And to me, double power with speed for a catcher. A guy that will steal some bases for you. I like to see that and say that about a catcher.
Fouls it off, 2-2.
Now you look at Cone though. I mean, he drops down, gives you the big sweeping breaking ball. You have to respect his fastball because it's 90 plus. This guy you would not want to be a right-hand batter against.
Or a left-handed batter.
Yeah, I mean, 18 and 4, he's getting everybody out.
Cone just missing. Full count.
Let's take a look at David Cone's scouting report. To me, different arm angles, very tough. Deception and movement on his pitchers. And the last thing, can't pay enough for that. Fierce competitor, just doesn't give in to the hitters.
Well, just behind the Rangers dugout.
Kenny, there's a little example. 2-0 lead, nobody out. 3-2 breaking ball to Ivan Rodriguez. He's got that much confidence in his stuff to any pitch at any time. Doesn't matter the count or the score.
Well, the count now 3-2. The score 2-0 Yankees. Bottom 2. As Cone steps off. Todd Zeal waiting on deck. Now Rodriguez back in. And he is pulled out on strikes. Second strikeout for David Cone in his 13th major league season. He won 20 games with the New York Mets 10 years ago in 1988. Moved over to the Blue Jays and then the Kansas City Royals, his hometown club. Went back to Toronto for a half season, and then in 1996, a member of the World Series champion New York Yankees. 18 wins this year, and should he win 2 more, which we assume he will do in the next week or 2, David Cone would set a major league record for longest span between 20-win seasons. Jim Cott, current Yankee broadcaster, holds the current record as Todd Zeal rounds out to the third baseman Scott Brosius for the second out of the inning. Jim Cott, a 20-game winner in 1966, again in 74. 8 years later, the longest stretch between 20-win seasons. Cone with 2 more victories will set the new mark. And his pitching coach in both instances with the Mets in '88, Yankees this season, Mel Stottlemyre.
And don't think that doesn't mean an awful lot to David Cone. Mel Stottlemyre knows him better than anybody around, can find different release points whenever he begins to struggle. I like that when you go back. Flash it back. Yeah, 10 years ago.
You were still playing back then?
Oh, he was nasty back then, and he's still nasty now. There's Mel Stottlemyre.
1-1 on Warren Newsom, playing his fourth game since he was recalled from Oklahoma earlier this month to replace the injured Lee Stevens. Newsom 1 for 8, the former White Sox and Mariner. Now 1-2 with 2 outs in the second. Yankees leading it 2-0. 2 runs on 6 hits. Rangers, an infield hit off the bat of Mark McLemore in the first. The 1-2 from Cone, and Newsom is called out. Strikeout number 3 for David Cone. A 1-2-3 second inning, and let's head to Pittsburgh once again. Mark McGwire looking.
And we welcome you to Pittsburgh's Three Rivers Stadium. Those of you watching on FX, the Rangers and the Yankees. McGwire, his 4th plate appearance. He homered in the first inning off Francisco Cordova, his 52nd of the year. He walked in the 3rd, singled and scored in the 5th. Now facing the reliever Mike Williams. With 2 outs in the 7th inning, the Pirates leading 8-4. Ten away to break the record. 1 ball and 1 strike. McGwire's first inning home run traveled 477 feet.
On an 0-2 pitch that was a little up and away. He went with it, just pounded it into right center.
Checks. Kendall wants an appeal. They won't get it. 2-1.
The hometown fans right now with this 8-4 lead would just as soon McGwire get a fastball right down the middle.
Yeah, no question.
They've seen 1 home run tonight. They want to see another one, win the game, and let Mark take his rip.
Fly ball to center field, going over, and making the catch at the warning track is Adrian Brown. Oh, they all stood here at Three Rivers Stadium, a sellout crowd. (8-4). We go to the bottom of the 7th.
Back in Texas, Kenny Albert, Rick Cerone, top of the 3rd inning. 2-0 lead for the New York Yankees. Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez, and Chili Davis. Williams leading it off against Burkett. Bernie walked his first time up and takes ball 1. Mark McGwire, as you saw earlier, home run number 52, only 9 away from tying Roger Maris.
Well, he said once I get to 50, then I could start smelling it. Well, he's smelling more than smelling it. He's closing in every day now.
Williams fouling it off down the left field line. McGwire with 4 in 3 games last Wednesday and Thursday. Sosa 0 for 5 today against the Houston Astros. Randy Johnson upping his record to 4-1 with the Astros. Allowed only 2 hits over 7 innings.
I don't know about you, but it's exciting. I know it's got to be a lot of pressure for those guys, but very, very exciting for the fans to follow it daily in the newspapers, on TV.
Back-to-back sellout crowds at Three Rivers Stadium.
We got an opportunity to do a game in San Diego when St. Louis was there. How about BP? That becomes a social event.
The 1-1 to Bernie Williams. Slow roller charging Ezeel, and he cannot make the play.
See, now that's how you hit over 300. Gets fooled on the changeup.
You mean over 345?
Well, yeah, yeah, you're right. Over 345. But he hit the changeup off the end of the bat. He's got good speed. 300 hitters they get hits like that. You watch guys take batting practice, guys that hit 250 like I did. You hit balls at people. Ground balls right at the shortstop, a line drive somewhere. 300 hitters find the base hits, even in batting practice. Nice feeling.
So Bernie raising his league leading average. And the Yankees leadoff man has reached via a base hit all 3 innings so far. Knobloch in the first, Davis in the second, now Williams here in the third. Tino Martinez struck out to end the first inning. He stranded 2. Yankees with a 2-0 lead against John Burkett. Well known in bowling circles as well. He has bowled 5 perfect games, 5 300 games during his bowling career.
Well, the one thing Johnny Oates is probably thinking, if he doesn't start getting major league hitters out, that bowling alley's not going to be too far away.
Let's see, how does the strike zone compare to bowling a strike?
The one thing you want to knock down pins in bowling, here you want to miss the fat part of the bat. I mean, to me, that's the secret of pitching. Taking a little off, adding a little, but missing the fat part of the bat if you can, if you're a pitcher.
Martinez homered twice last night. And the Rangers turned their second double play in 3 innings. 4-6-3, McLemore to Clayton to Clark. 2 away here in the third. Well, next week on Baseball Thursday, the first place Angels will take on the Yankees in the Bronx. 7:30 start. Some of you will see Mark McGwire and the St. Louis Cardinals as they host the Atlanta Braves. Coming up next Thursday, Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports Net. Check local listings for the game in your area. 2 outs, Chili Davis, who singled his first time up, and Chili takes ball 1. Davis 6 of 15 since his return. He missed over 4 months with the ankle injury. Now 1-1. Texas a game and a half behind Anaheim. Only 1 in the loss column. Angels losing to the Blue Jays last night. And the Rangers will finish the season with 7 games on the road at the Angels and the Mariners. So they will meet head-to-head during the last week of September.
Which I think if you ask most players, that's what they want. They want an opportunity to control their own destiny by beating the team in front of you.
Davis holds up. 3 balls, 1 strike.
The other thing you can't forget, I know they're game and a half out in the AL West, but also the wild card. 8.5 back starting today behind the Red Sox, who lead the wild card race. It's another option teams have.
But not likely at this point.
No, not likely. Now we'll take a look at the Texas Rangers' upcoming schedule. Well, you'd think they should do okay against Detroit and Chicago. September, they have 11 games at home, 14 on the road, and 5 versus the Angels. Okay, so you know that they're going to go head-to-head with the Angels 5 times. You can make up ground yourself, and you don't need other teams to help you out.
Fair ball down the left field line. Chili Davis now 2 for 2 as he heads into second with a stand-up double.
Well, outstanding hitting by Chili Davis. Both pitches today he's driven the other way. This one that stays inside the bag. Look at fastball away, stays inside, keeps the barrel above the baseball. I think that's the key to that at bat. And has himself another hit.
His first extra base hit of the season in 20 official at-bats. Two-out double.
Kenny, how about the Yankees? 8 hits already against Burkett. Just 2 outs here in the 3rd. They just wear you down if you're a starter.
Rodriguez out for a chat. Rangers concluding a stretch as Darryl Strawberry steps in. A 17-game stretch for Texas against 3 current playoff teams: Boston, Cleveland, and the Yankees. Rangers have gone 6-9 against those 3 clubs.
See, Kenny, the thing I go back to, they started the season 18-7, really playing great baseball early in the year. But since that time, they're 4 games under 500 over that 100 games. Johnny Oates, some reason for concern. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden they've started to go in a little tailspin. They have been struggling, and more so, Johnny talks about his starters. They added Loaiza, who we saw last night pitch, Stottlemyre.
Traded Darren Oliver.
The one guy they really counted on was John Burkett. And he has not been the same pitcher, only 21 and 27 since he's come over here to the Texas Rangers.
Burkett won 22 games with the Giants just 5 years ago. Pitched in the All-Star game. Finished 4th in Cy Young voting. The 1-2 to Strawberry.
And to me, I really believe it's the velocity. He has lost velocity. We showed you his ERA numbers go up as the ball game goes up. And what that tells me, he's running out of gas. He loses even more velocity as the game wears on. Now, Ken, the thing that comes to mind, this guy was a very good pitcher in the National League. San Francisco, cooler weather. I really believe pitchers melt here in the Texas heat. It's got to wear you down.
And there's air conditioning in the bowling alleys.
Yeah, there is.
Burkett walks Strawberry. Second walk allowed by Burkett. So the Yankees with 2 runners on once again. They have 2 on in every inning. 2 outs. Chili Davis, the runner on second. Strawberry down at first. Scott Brocious, who singled and scored the Yankees' second run. Back in the second. Brocious takes ball 1. For the Yankees, had 10 base runners over the first 2 2/3, 8 hits, and Burkett has walked 2.
Yeah, and it's Johnny Oates can't let this one slip by. Tim Crabtree up and throwing, the converted catcher from the Blue Jays organization. He'll try to get ready in a hurry. Part of the reason Rodriguez went out to talk to him. And he mentioned the 8 hits. He's allowed 200 hits now. John Burkett in 165 innings of work. That is 5th most hits allowed in the American League.
2 on, 2 out. 1-1 on Scott Brocious. You see the base runners, Chili Davis, who doubled. Out at second, Darryl Strawberry, who walked. The runner on first. Well outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Burkett has induced 2 ground ball double plays, so it could be a lot worse. It's only 2-0.
You're right. I mean, if those double plays didn't come, it'd be a lot worse. Maybe 4 or 5 runs on the board.
Also the terrific play by McLemore in the second. Now 2-2. The count on Brocious. Chris Chambliss, Yankees hitting coach, playoff hero against the Kansas City Royals back in '76. And the Yankees tonight have sent 16 batters to the plate. 10 of the 16 have reached base. Only O'Neill and Martinez have not.
Yeah, and I talked to Chris before the ball game, and he said, you know, these guys generally care for each other.
Rocha stays alive.
And they respect their teammates. Remember I was pointing out in the first inning, willing to take the walk, knowing that the guy behind him, like Strawberry did in this inning, the guy behind him will drive in the runs. Chambliss has said it's been a pleasure to watch day in and day out. The intensity level. We saw Paul O'Neill already. Got robbed of the base hit, slammed the helmet down. He says, I've never been around a team of guys this hungry and wanting to win every day. You gotta remember, Chambliss was on a couple of World Series champions in 77, 78, so good teams he was around. Also gets a kick out of watching a younger player like Jeter develop before his eyes.
Runners going. Rocha hits it in the air to left center. And the catch is made by Rusty Greer. So again, for the third consecutive inning, the Yankees strand two. Couple plays. Clayton, Goodwin, and McLemore for the Rangers. Here in the third. Rick, the Yankees have already sent 8 batters to the plate twice. And this will be Royce Clayton's first at-bat of the game.
Well, remember what I said. They turned the lineup over. They score 6.5 runs a ball game. They really put a lot of pressure on a pitching staff. Royce Clayton must feel like he's been out in the field for a week already.
Clayton, one of 3 key acquisitions by the Rangers at the trade deadline, along with Todd Zeile and Todd Stottlemyre. Clayton coming over from the St. Louis Cardinals. And Clayton bunts it down the third base line. No throw from Girardi. Second hit of the game for the Rangers.
Well, I like that play, too. I like it when guys are willing to do something to get on base. This is an absolutely perfect bunt. He catches the ball with the bat, deadens it enough, but yet far enough away from Girardi. I mean, that is the perfect bunt for a base hit. Moving, never looking back for the baseball, and he's got a leadoff single. I mentioned speed may come into play a big part in this ball game.
Tom Goodwin, line to right, his first time up. We mentioned the trades. Clayton, Zeile, and Stottlemyre coming to Texas at the deadline. The only addition by the Angels was Charlie O'Brien, and the feeling around Anaheim was, hey, why did the Rangers pick up 3 key players and we didn't do too much?
But look at what's happened. I mean, it's turned around for Anaheim, so sometimes maybe deals you don't make pay off.
And the Angels released their leading RBI man, Cecil Fielder.
You never really can figure out baseball. I mean, on paper, you look at certain things and you say, well, this is no matchup. This is a mismatch today. You got Cone against Burkett. Well, that's not the case. You have to do it between the lines every day.
Just use game 1 of the 96 playoffs as an example. Yankee Stadium, Cone had pitched in the postseason before. Burkett had not. And it was Burkett pitching the complete game victory, beating Cone and the Yankees 6-2.
The complete game victory, too, for Burkett.
The 0-1 to Goodwin. He squared and takes strike 2.
Well, you look at Goodwin, you expect him to bunt. He has put down 19 bunts this year. 6th most in the American League. And this guy, another guy that utilizes his legs. Slaps the ball, tries to put it in play.
Clayton the lead off first. Nobody out. Bottom 3. Talk about speed. Tom Goodwin has scored from second on infield outs twice this season.
Yeah, I like it. You look at those 111 singles. He only has 121 hits on the year, so only 10 extra base hits. Guy utilizes 31 steals. 4th straight year with 30-plus steals. But the toughest base to steal is first. You have to be able to put the ball in play and get there.
Goodwin got a piece of it. What did your old teammate Oscar Gamble used to say? I'm in scoring position when I'm at the plate.
Oh, yeah. When I get off the bus, I'm in scoring position. Oscar Gamble. Yeah, I like that. Bring up Oscar. the big afro. And you know, the other thing Oscar used to say, you know, he'd hit a long home run, and you'd ask him, did you get that one? He said, did you see it come down? I said, yeah. Well, then I didn't get it. He didn't get all of it.
Clayton just gets back in as Tino Martinez glares at Richie Garcia.
Very close at first base. Because Cone throws so many off-speed pitches, the sliders and the splitters, he has to work that much harder to keep good base stealers at first base. Vary his move, hold the ball, step off, whatever it takes to keep them close.
Goodwin called out on strikes. Fourth strikeout for Cone. The last three looking.
Well, he's got that type of stuff. When you see a guy with looking strikes, we're going to take a look at the whole pitch sequences. A little fastball to start it away.
To Goodwin. He swam.
And then he just freezes him on the good slider. And you know, when you get called strikes, it means that's how good your stuff is. Hitters respect it.
One out, Mark McLemore. Singled off the glove of Cone. There goes Clayton. No throw from Girardi. Stolen base number 22 on the season, his third as a member of the Rangers.
They had 19 steals with St. Louis, now his third with the Rangers. Guessed right. Big jump. Good 3-4 steps before Cone releases it. No throw by Girardi.
Ground ball to the right side. Martinez, nice play. Takes it himself. Just beats McLemore. 2 away as Clayton moves over to third.
Well, they're trying their best to manufacture a run here. The bunt, the steal. Now it'll take a big 2-out hit from Rusty Greer.
Rusty voted the most popular Ranger amongst the fans here in Texas. What a job he's done over the last couple of years. Drove in 100 2 years ago.
Every time I see Rusty Greer, I think back to the Arizona Fall League. He was a roster filler, not a prospect. And then all of a sudden, it just went off out there against the top prospects and went from being a suspect to a prospect again. They gave him an opportunity to win a job in spring training, and he ran with it. And here's a guy who uses the whole field, inside out. He'll jerk you once in a while, look for a breaking ball inside to pull you. Very tough hitter at the plate.
And you were there to broadcast the games, of course. Arizona Fall League.
I liked it out there. You got, I mean, one year Michael Jordan was out there trying to swing a bat. He found out it was a little tougher than shooting that basketball. But really, he went out there and established himself amongst the best young talent in baseball.
Strike called, 1-1. Greer walked in the first. I told you earlier, only 5 of 28 lifetime against David Cone. Two and one.
Well, you see that breaking ball from Cone, that just took the left angle, didn't it? Comes up there and just darts down and in. He can vary the break on it. Sometimes a little smaller, a little tighter to try to jam lefties. Other times the big one like we just saw.
Cone has been known to get pretty intense on the mound at times. What was it like behind the plate during some of those episodes?
Well, just as long as you did not see the dazed look. Sometimes if you look in his eyes, he was looking right through you. Then you had to call timeout and go out and talk to him.
3-2 on Greer.
See, he wipes his face an awful lot with his glove. And by, like, you know, real hot day, 90 degrees, by the 4th, 5th, 6th inning, he's all puffy. Look at his eyes already. His eyes are starting to get puffy because he wipes his sweat with his glove.
Ball 4, there, so Greer heads down to first, a 2-out walk. Second walk issued by Cone, both with Rusty Greer at the plate. So with 2 on, 2 outs, in steps Juan Gonzalez. There's Clayton, the runner down at third base. Gonzalez, a strikeout victim, back in the first inning.
Yeah, Cone really worked him over that first inning, showed him different arm angles, fastballs in, fastballs away, and then finished him off with a good slider, a good foot off the plate away from Gonzalez. See the defense there. Jeter plays Gonzalez to pull on the ground. Big hole right up the middle.
2 out, and Gonzalez takes ball 1. Gonzalez 9 home runs his last 22 games, 35 on the season.
And you look at the active career leaders. Mark McGwire home run every 11.5 at bats. Gonzalez second, Albert Bell and Jr. on that list.
2-0.
You mentioned something about Cone's intensity. He'll also be known to invent some pitches out there. I was talking to Joe Girardi, and he said, you know, Rick, yeah, sometimes he will when he'll different arm angles, you know that, different break, but when he's struggling, he'll invent a pitch. I said, what do you mean? Well, make a curveball. And he doesn't have a curveball, but he'll change the break to it, sink it, cut it, whatever it takes to get a hitter out.
Does he name those pitches?
No.
Like Darryl Dawkins used to name all of his dunks?
No, he does not. Roger Clemens does, though. The Eliminator, the Eraser.
Runners on first and third, 2 outs, 3-0. Gonzalez takes the strike. 3-1.
Oh, this is a tough league. 3-0 slider to Gonzalez. But it's amazing. You look at David Cone, not that big, 5'11", 160 pounds. Then you think about Roger Clemens, big, posing figure. Can blow the ball by you. So it just shows you it's all timing and mechanics to be successful as a pitcher.
Randy Johnson, 6'10". That's out of here. Juan Gonzalez, number 36.
Wow. 3-run homer. It looked like now a 3-1 fastball after the 3-0 breaking ball. Should have stayed with the breaking ball. He just crushes this ball. I believe it lands in the second deck. Second deck home run. Mammoth blast by Juan Gonzalez. In the 5th home run now Juan Gonzalez has hit off of David Cone in his career.
And only the 6th home run hit to the second deck, the left field club level.
Oh, that was a bomb.
Here at the ballpark, Gonzalez has hit 4 of those 6. The other 2, Dean Palmer, and who else but Mark McGwire last July.
That thing was crushed. Looked almost like a driver. Took out his driver and just smoked one down the fairway.
Up the middle, stabbed by Cone, but the Rangers have taken a 3-2 lead despite 8 Yankee hits over the first 3 innings. Rangers with only 3. But they lead on Juan's 36th of the season of 1. Rick Cerrone came in with the the graphic you just saw, the fact that no team with the best record during the regular season has won the World Series during the 90s. I had not seen that one before, and I know you'll be sharing that one with the folks when you return to Baltimore.
Yes, of course. You have to do a little research once in a while. But that is an amazing thing. Not one team in the 90s with the best record has gone on to win the World Championship.
Here's Chuck Knobloch. 1 for 2, single to the first, fly to right in the second.
Now, if you're John Burkett, you want to get him right back in the dugout, try to put some more pressure on David Cone. So important to shut down the opposition when you put 3 on the board.
Here's Clayton once again. Sidearm over to first, bobbled by Will Clark. And Knobloch is safe.
Well, it looks like the 13th error now for Will Clark. 13 errors at first base.
Which leads the American League.
Watch it. I mean, this is a routine play. Easy toss. What happens? Oh, he gets handcuffed by the baseball at first base, and it pops out. And that'll be another error for Will Clark. Well, I already was putting down 6-3 on my scorecard.
He fooled you. Clark has committed more errors than the entire Rangers outfield combined.
Cannot take your eye off the little pelota.
So the Yankees with a 1-out base runner. Derek Jeter 2 for 2 with a run batted in. Yankees have stranded 6 over the first 3 innings. 2, 2, and 2. And the 2 double plays. And the Rangers very fortunate that the Yanks have scored only 2 runs so far. Texas leading on the Gonzalez 3-run homer. This one gets by Zeal. Knobloch over to third. Jeter in at second.
Well, we're seeing them self-destruct right here.
That is error number 7 in 20 games committed by Todd Zeal with the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, defensively, Todd Zeal's been struggling. That time it looked like he never got the glove down. Went right through his wickets. Johnny Oates is saying, what's going on here as they commit their 95th error of the year.
Yankee fans remember the error made by Zeal against the Orioles in the 96 playoffs.
Where he wanted to just hold the ball. It slipped out of his hand, started rolling, and Bernie Williams able to score. Well, Burkett did his job, Kenny. Got the ground ball, should be in the dugout now. Instead, second and third and only 1 out.
Should have been a 1-2-3. Paul O'Neill 0 for 2. Rounded into a double play in the first, robbed by Mark McLemore in the second.
You really cannot give teams like the Yankees extra opportunities. You know, you're looking at 5 outs you're going to give the best hitting team in baseball.
O'Neill fouls this one down the right field line. 0-2. Rangers with a 3-2 lead. 449-foot home run off the bat of Gonzalez. Tied for the 3rd longest home run in the history of the ballpark. Jose Canseco went 480 back in 1994. And Roberto Kelly, now a member of the Rangers, or I should say he did it with the Rangers. It says Anaheim here in the notes, but he did it with the Rangers earlier this season. And O'Neill takes strike 3. He is now 0 for 3 and has words for the home plate umpire, Brian Onora.
Showed him a couple of changeups down, got him out in front, and now he's going to locate a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Look at Rodriguez moves in. He gave up on that pitch. You see the good late movement by Burkett. O'Neill doesn't think it ever catches the plate, but it does. And the only guy that counts is Brian Onora. Big strikeout for Burkett.
His second of the night. So now 2 outs for Bernie Williams, who has reached base twice, a walk, and an infield single.
Oh, that was just a nice sequence of pitches we saw from John Burkett. Changeup, and then fastball on the inside corner to freeze O'Neill with 2 runners in scoring position.
Williams up to 349. In the dirt. Now 2-0 to Williams.
Not only can Pudge throw you out, but he can prevent runs from scoring. Look at him shift his body, keeps his chest protector between the ball and the backstop. You don't have to catch the ball when you block it. Give you a lot of gear. Use the gear to keep it in front of you.
Runners on second and third. Knobloch and Jeter both reached on errors by Ranger infielders. Speed, strike call, 2-1.
Well, 2-0 slow curveball from Burkett. See if he follows it up like Cone did with a fastball. Cone wishes he went to another breaking ball against Juan Gonzalez.
That ball's still going.
Oh man, that was hit hard.
Two and one on Bernie Williams. 2 outs, top of the fourth. Rangers leading the Yankees 3-2. Now 3-1 with Tino Martinez, the on-deck hitter. Yankees 45 victories on the road this year. 45-23 away from Yankee Stadium. Only the San Diego Padres have more wins at home than the Yankees have on the road. Williams with a base hit into right field. Here comes Knobloch. Jeter crosses the plate, and the Yankees have regained the lead. A 2-run single off the bat of Bernie Williams, who has now driven in 72 runs on the season in just 94 games.
Well, Kenny, just what I was talking about. If you give good teams extra outs in an inning, 5 they're giving them in this inning, they're going to make you pay for it. 3-1 changeup down. Bernie Williams stays on top of the baseball and hits a rocket to right center field to drive in 2.
2 unearned runs. Dick Bosman out to chat with Burkett. Burkett would have had a 1-2-3 inning. His teammates gave him the lead after he allowed 8 hits over the first 3. Girardi grounded out to short to start the fourth. It looked like Knobloch would be thrown out by Clayton. It was already down on your scorecard, and then it was bobbled by Will Clark, and then Jeter with a ground ball that skipped past Zeal into left field. And both Knobloch and Jeter have scored. Crabtree up in the bullpen once again with 2 outs. Tino Martinez. Martinez 0 for 2, struck out and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. Burkett again over to first. Williams has stolen 14 bases on the year. He's also been caught 7 times. Yankees 4 runs on 9 hits. Rangers 3 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Ball 1 to Martinez.
See the 82 pitches thrown just here in 2 outs in the 4th inning. A lot of extra pitches this inning that he didn't need to be throwing. Defense has let him down. I mentioned 95 errors now for the Texas Rangers.
Yankees with the 9 hits. On Tuesday, Burkett did not allow a hit in Boston over the first 4 innings. Wound up losing the game. Lasted only 5 2/3 up at Fenway. Red Sox winning at 4-1. 2-1 on Tino Martinez, who went deep twice last night on Esteban Loaiza. Bernie Williams, the runner on first. Inside to Tino. Remember, he was hit in the back by Armando Benitez of the Orioles back in May, which precipitated a bench clearing ball, 8-game suspension for Benitez. Martinez missed some time as well.
Yeah, I asked a lot of the guys about that incident, and they didn't want to refer to the incident, but they felt that ball game, the way they came back down 5-1 late. Bernie hit a 3-run homer.
And there goes Williams. Martinez, ground ball to the right side. McLemore on 2 hops, throws him out. When you talk about hustle, Bernie Williams is all the way at third when Martinez was thrown out. Yankees have regained the lead. Back in Arlington, Kenny Albert, Rick Cerrone. 4-3 lead for the New York Yankees as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Ivan Rodriguez, Todd Zeile, and Warren Newson will face David Cone. Pulled out the 3-run homer off the bat of Juan Gonzalez in the 3rd. But the Yankees have gone back on top. And now Rodriguez, who was called out on strikes his first time up. Rodriguez nearly became a Yankee last year at the trade deadline. There have been ongoing talks between these clubs. Rodriguez was about to become a free agent, and he hits this one to deep left field, and the Rangers have tied it. Home run number 12 for Ivan Rodriguez, and the second homer in the last 2 innings against Cone.
Well, Kenny, that looked like a first pitch hanging breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. It spins, it stays inside, and Rodriguez just crushes it to left field. David Cone knows it was a bad pitch. He got the breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. 17th home run allowed by Cone this year.
And the 100th career home run off the bat of Rodriguez, who had gone 68 games without a homer until Thursday night, and he has now hit 2 the last 3 games. A Rick Cerrone type.
100 home runs in his major league career now.
No home runs in 68. Rick Cerrone type slump, right?
Well, that's normal. That's not a slump. That was every day for me.
He had not homered since May 23rd up until Thursday night.
Oh, that was a cheapie, though. Only 387 feet for Rodriguez. A little cheapie, but it counts.
The solo shot to lead off the 4th. Now 1-2 on Zeile. Zeile to center. Bernie Williams. One away. Well, Rick, our Michelin trivia question. What father-son pitching duo has won the most games combined in the history of the major leagues? I don't want to hear anything about Cy Young and his son, who never played in the majors.
No, guys.
Both guys had to have pitched in the major leagues.
I think that's an easy one. I may be wrong, but I think I may get this one right.
Well, we'll let the viewers think about it for a couple of minutes. Warren Newson. Now the first pitch, ground ball to the second baseman, Knobloch. Big throw heading in the other direction. And he throws out Newson for the second out here in the Rangers' 4th.
Beginning of the year, that was anything but a routine play for Knobloch. Really struggled throwing the baseball. Here you see able to make it very easily. 11 errors on the year, mostly throwing errors. Really came down with a Steve Sachs syndrome. Look out over the dugout. He was airmailing. But now Willie Randolph, the infield coach, has worked with him and no longer a problem.
Royce Clayton, bunt single in the 3rd, came around to score the Gonzalez home run. The Rangers have tied it here in the 4th. Clayton into center. Again, it's Bernie Williams. And that will do it for the Rangers, but not before they tie the score on the 1-4 as we head to the top of the 5th. Here in Arlington, Chili Davis will lead it off for the Yankees. Well, Rick, you know, of course, the Yankees with the best record in baseball. The Kentucky Wildcats won the NCAA basketball title earlier this year. The last 5 times Kentucky has won the NCAA championship, the Yankees have also gone on to win the World Series as Chili Davis lines out to the shortstop, Royce Clayton.
So you know what the Yankees are saying? We're going to go by that history. The history of Kentucky Wildcats winning the championship. That history is going to pay off.
Coincidence,
this year.
or do you think there's something to it?
No, I think it's a coincidence. Of course.
Here's Darryl Strawberry, 0 for 1 with a walk. Your alma mater went to the championship game back in '89, Seton Hall, but
bad call.
Came up short.
Bad call against Michigan.
Darryl Strawberry, a pretty good basketball player. In fact, his cousin Miles Simon was a member of the Arizona club, which won the NCAA title 2 years ago when they beat Kentucky.
Basketball, baseball. I think Darryl Strawberry has made a pretty nice living swinging that bat. 22 home runs this year, just 248 at-bats for Strawberry.
Now 3-1 on Strawberry with 1 away here in the 5th.
Well, he hit the longest home run ever hit in Camden Yards earlier this year off a changeup from Mike Messina. Straightaway center field.
Leads the Yankees with 22 home runs, including 2 pinch hit grand slams.
2 pinch hit grand slams. I mean, that's getting healthy in a hurry, isn't it? 8 RBIs and 2 at-bats.
This time Burkett strikes him out. 3rd strikeout for John Burkett, 2 away in the Yankee 5th. Rick, next week on FX Baseball Saturday night, the East Coast will see the Angels and the Red Sox, while the West will check out the playoff-bound Astros as they take on the Pirates. Only on FX. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. Scott Brocious 1 for 2. Ground ball to the shortstop for Royce Clayton. Across to Clark. And Burkett with his first 1-2-3 inning of the game. Halfway through from Arlington. Tied pitching duo, Rick, has won the most games in Major League history.
Oh, I got this one right. How about Mel and Todd Stottlemyre?
You got it. Todd pitching against his father's club for the first time last weekend at Yankee Stadium, a combined .285. There's Mel, and if we had a camera in the Rangers clubhouse, we would show you Todd, but he is nowhere to be seen at the moment. So we'll show you Dad.
A little cooler in that clubhouse.
Right now, Mel's club and Todd's club tied at 4. Todd said it was the proudest moment of his career walking in from the bullpen at Yankee Stadium, knowing his dad was in the other dugout. On Sunday, his mom and his wife in the stands. Mom rooting against the Yankees for the first time this season. Even Mel said Texas needed the game more than us, so it's okay if she roots for Todd this afternoon.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking. I mean, it's got to be a nice feeling for him. I know they keep in contact an awful lot.
Mel said, ironically, no Yankees came to him for a scouting report on his son.
They probably think he'd give him the wrong one.
He said he read the Yankees report, and it was accurate.
It was accurate. Well, I talked about video. Nowadays, I went in to the Yankee clubhouse. Derek Jeter sitting there watching John Burkett's last performance.
Goodwin with a bouncer to Gino Martinez for the first out in the Rangers' 5th. Well, Rick, for big stars, rockin' music, and their own brand of evil music. I know you'll like that. Tune in to Penn and Teller's Sin City Spectacular. Catch an all-new episode Monday on FX. The hidden ball trick, perhaps?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, Penn and Teller. I could just look at those guys. They make me laugh, too.
So 1 out, nobody on in the 5th. Mark McLemore. Infield single in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd inning. Last night, it was the Yankees going long ball 4 times, 4 solo shots. Tonight, 2 home runs have accounted for all 4 Texas Rangers runs. As McLemore lines out to the second baseman Knobloch, 2 away.
Well, you see that slider just eat up McLemore inside. As a hitter, you approach the ball thinking it's going to be away from you, and then it just dives inside and it jams McLemore. Watch, he's going to go out after this ball. Next thing you know, it's right around the trademark. Can't get extended on the ball. Soft line drive right at Knobloch.
Rusty Greer fouls it back. Greer has walked both plate appearances tonight. The 3rd inning walk was followed by the 3-run home run off the bat of Gonzalez. Up the middle, base hit, a 2-out single. As he did in the 3rd, Rusty Greer extends the inning for Juan Gonzalez. And back in the 3rd, no doubt about it, number 36.
Oh, my. 3-1 fastball tail inside. Gonzalez 449 feet away. Now ties for the major league lead in RBIs also with that 3-run shot. Ties Sammy Sosa with 124 ribbies.
We said he only needed 2 per game to catch Hack Wilson. He's 1 ahead.
Yeah, now
with the pace.
I also said he can get about 20 in a week when he gets hot.
Strike called, 0-1, 2 outs in the 5th. His 10th home run, the last 23 games. During the 4-game series at Yankee Stadium last weekend, Gonzalez came to the plate 14 times, did not drive in a run. Making up for it here tonight. Greer, the runner on first with 2 out. Inside, 1-1. David Cone hearing it from the sellout crowd here in Arlington.
Yeah, Kenny, David Cone must have read my batter profile. Loves to extend his arms, Juan Gonzalez. Make him aware of the ball inside like Cone just did. And the last thing, you know, you call it an RBI machine because that's what he's been averaging over an RBI a game for the last 3 years. That's incredible. More than an RBI a game the last 3 years.
399 over the last 3 seasons.
I mean, when you put that in perspective, and Juan Gonzalez, the first one to tell you, he can't do it by himself. He needs his teammates to get on base like Greer has done this inning, like Greer did the prior at bat with that walk. Needs help to drive in runs.
Gets away from Girardi. Greer down to second. How about this? With his next run batted in, Gonzalez will become the first major leaguer since 1950 to drive in 400 runs over a 3-year period.
Oh, we were talking about one heck of a chase. One heck of a chase. I like that. Nice. 124 ribbies now.
So Gonzalez about to accomplish something with his next run batted in that has not been done in 48 years. 400 RBI over a 3-year period. He's 1 shot. And the count is full.
142 times Juan Gonzalez has come up with runners in scoring position. 41 hits, 11 home runs during that time.
Into the Rangers dugout.
One thing I've seen with Gonzalez, he's become a very, very good hitter, especially in RBI situations. He will shoot the ball the other way. Cannot swing for a home run every time up there. He's willing to cut down on his swing and drive the ball to right center field for an RBI. He's got tremendous plate coverage. If you're Cone, you like to get him to, he loves to extend his arms, but you want him to overextend on maybe a breaking ball down and off the plate.
Third walk issued by Cone. So the Rangers keep the inning alive with 2 men on. And 2 out.
Well, he gave him that little 3-2 slider, but Gonzalez patient enough to lay off it.
Third walk issued by Cone. Will Clark 0 for 2. Swings at the first pitch and grounds out to Tino Martinez, stranding 2. 5 innings complete from the ballpark in Arlington. Yankees and the Rangers tied at 4. For the Yankees, here in the 6th against John Burkett. Already 1 for 2. RBI single back in the 2nd inning. It will be Girardi, Knobloch, and his first base umpire, Rich Garcia, signals strike 1.
Now you see Joe Girardi, I mean, he loves to go after the first pitch. We talked about bowling. You'd almost have to bowl it up there for Girardi not to swing on that first pitch.
Well, we know Burkett could bowl it up there.
And I would be willing to bet that Girardi would try to take a hack at it, that first pitch.
Yankees took a 2-0 lead in the 2nd. Rangers came back with 3 in the bottom of the 3rd on the Gonzalez homer. Yankees 2 more in the 4th, thanks to 2 Rangers errors. And then Pudge Rodriguez a solo home run at the bottom of the inning. 1 and 2 on Girardi. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, we knew who to tease in our opening tonight, didn't we? We teased Gonzalez, teased Rodriguez. Both with home runs tonight.
Production crew right on, led by Jim Drake, George Finkel.
Oh yeah, they know what they're doing down there.
Girardi to deep left field. Greer on the run. It's off the scoreboard. Off the out-of-town scoreboard. Girardi on his way to 3rd. And he is in with a triple. 4th triple of the season for Girardi. Doing it off the out-of-town scoreboard in left field.
Well, you have a rarity tonight. You have 2 catchers that can run. Both Girardi and Rodriguez, very good. Look at the hanging breaking ball. Curveball up in his eyes. Greer not playing very deep, has to go back on the ball when he bangs his back against the wall. But look at this. I love it when you can see catchers that can motor. Oh, to be young again. Look at Girardi. Even though there's nobody out, he's going to test it. Able to make it. Leadoff triple for Girardi. Oh, that makes me feel good to watch those catchers going around those bases.
And there it is, 4th triple of the season. Off the bat of Joe Girardi. Medical staff tending to Rusty Greer. He's a reckless type player. He suffered a couple of injuries during the course of his career, throwing himself at balls. He made contact with the left field wall on this one.
It looks like they're checking his wrist. I'm wondering if he used his wrist to brace himself against that wall. He hit it pretty hard in left field. Let's go back and watch it. Yeah, it was the wrist. Let's see his bare hand, not his glove hand, but his bare hand. Does he brace the wall? Right there. Oh, and it's got some netting. I don't know if he got his fingers caught up in that netting that protects the scoreboard or not. He's able to stay in the game.
1996, when he drove in 100 runs, missed 10 games with a sprained left shoulder after hitting the outfield wall in Cleveland in May of that season. A career will remain in the game right here. John Burkett will not. A new pitcher for the Rangers when we return here at the top of the 6th.
Pain. He does not have the car tonight that these other guys do. He's trying to get all the positions he can. He's got a hit pin out.
Right on you. Watch the 9 car up high. Keep her down. Don't let him in there. Corner, inside corner.
Oh, and
he's there. Still there. Still there. Still there. 40's there.
They got him.
Good job. You got to go. Attaboy.
Jeff up into fifth. Spin over there.
On the back.
Irwin has spun, but no caution. He gets going again. No caution as Irwin drives away. He was in the top 10, and here is Mark Martin. It's around Darrell Waltrip with ease.
Hard. It just might.
The problem is, look, the 99 car is right. I guess when the 28 car spun, that Mark backed off because of that, because the spotter probably told him caution was out. And check this out, the 99 car is closed up to right on.
Plus one batter in the 6th. Allows 10 hits, 4 runs so far, only 2 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. 100 pitches on the nose tonight for John Burkett. Tim Crabtree, you mentioned earlier, Rick, a converted catcher, former Toronto Blue Jay, who became a father for the first time at 11:59 on Thursday night. Crabtree for the Rangers.
I always liked his arm, too. He's got a real quick arm, hard, heavy sinker, around 94 miles an hour. The good, tight slider. I mean, a true slider. Just slides away from the right-hand hitters. But you'll notice he's very quick to get the ball up in the throwing position, much like a catcher. Boom, it gets out of the glove and up right by his ear very quickly.
So Crabtree will face the top of the Yankees order with Girardi on third. Nobody out. Chuck Knobloch singled in the first, fly to right in the second. Reached on an error, came around to score in the fourth. So Knobloch 1 for 3. He homered last night. 2 for 6 in the series. Infield in with the runner on third. And Knobloch takes ball 1.
So you can do that. It depends on the pitcher. I mentioned sinker, slider pitcher. You're more apt to bring the infield in because as a hitter, you're more apt to put the ball on the ground. Runner on third, nobody out.
Crabtree falls behind 2-0.
He's done an excellent job this year retiring the first batter. To me, that's a very important statistic for a reliever. You're brought into ball games facing guys with guys on base. What do you do against the first batter? Well, they're just 9 for 40 on the year, 225 against Crabtree.
Right call, 2-1. Facing leadoff men. Crabtree in relief of John Burkett. In a 4-4 game, top of the 6th inning. Inside to Knobloch, now 3-1.
Kenny, the other stat I like to look at for a reliever, how many guys are on base when he comes in and how many score. Crabtree has not done a good job there. Now, this is almost an impossible situation. Man on third, nobody out. But he's 49 guys have been on base, 19 have scored. That's a pretty high total.
Ball 4 to Knobloch. So the Yankees with 2 men on, runners on the corners with nobody out. Girardi down at third, Knobloch the runner at first base, as Derek Jeter steps to the plate. He's reached base all 3 plate appearances tonight. 2 singles, reached on an error, and scored in the 4th. He's also driven in a run.
Yeah, just a typical Jeter night. 2 for 3, or RBI, runs scored, hitting .325 on the season. That's how good he's become.
Only 24 years of age.
Yeah, that's the thing you tend to forget. Jeter's, it seems like he's been around a lot longer than that. He plays a lot older than his years. You grow up in a hurry when you're playing in New York. 21, 22 years old, and your first experience, you wind up winning a world championship. Now you see a little different philosophy. Johnny Oates, because it's first and third, will play the infield back, trying to give up 1 run to get 2 outs. The only problem is Jeter runs very well out of that batter's box.
The 0-1 from Crabtree. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Top of the 6th inning from the ballpark at Arlington. Sold out for the 2nd consecutive night. Yankees winning last night 5-0 behind David Wells, who threw his league-leading 6th complete game of the season. Up the middle, it gets through. 3rd hit of the night for Jeter. Yankees take a 5-4 lead. Goodwin then commits only his 2nd error of the year. And the runners advance. Knobloch to 3rd, Jeter down to 2nd. Only the 10th error committed by a Rangers outfielder. Goodwin leads the league in fielding percentage among outfielders, but he commits the Rangers' 3rd miscue of the night.
Well, it becomes contagious. They are giving the Yankees extra outs, extra opportunities. He just takes his eye off the ball. Hits him in the heel of the glove. Both runners able to advance. Now it's 2nd and 3rd, and the Yankees have a big inning brewing.
The 5th run scored by Girardi, charged to Burkett. So the book is closed on the Rangers starter, allowing 5 runs, 3 of the 5 earned. Here's Paul O'Neill, one of only 2 Yankees who has not reached base tonight. He's 0 for 3, as is Tino Martinez. Comes to the plate with 2 men on and nobody out. Only 2 for his last 24 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Torrey's a little bit concerned, but they know that this guy will figure ways to get hits. He has hit .316 in his Yankee career since coming over from Cincinnati.
All 4 times O'Neill has come up tonight, there have been 2 men on. How about that?
They keep putting the pressure on you.
0-2.
Well, we'll take a look at Paul O'Neill's batter profile. To me, he does not miss a breaking ball that's a strike. Loves to hit that breaking ball. Loves to drive the ball the other way. And one of the few guys, just him and Mo Vaughn, that really uses a heavy bat. Once he gets that big shillelagh moving, it's tough to stop. 36 ounces, 36 inches for Paul O'Neill.
Into right field, Gonzalez on the warning track. Knobloch crossing the plate, Jeter over to 3rd, and the Yankees lead is now 6-4. RBI number 89 for O'Neill.
See, that's team baseball. He's looking to pull something. I just showed you his batter profile. Does not miss a breaking ball that's in the middle of the plate. Crabtree got the breaking ball in the middle of the plate, and he just hammered it. Watch the location. Big bat gets going. Look at how he goes after that breaking ball. Advances both runners. Team baseball by the Yankees. Move them over, get them in. O'Neill does his job.
2 runs in here in the 6th. 1 out. Bernie Williams 2 for 2. with 2 RBI. Infield in, Jeter, the runner on third, as Williams takes ball 1. Our Major League batting leaders brought to you by Alka-Seltzer. Numbers 1 and 2 reside in New York.
Yeah, how about that? I don't think that's ever happened. Going back to when the Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Giants, the New York Yankees, where 2 New York players won the batting titles.
Marty fouls it back, 1-1. How about that deal a couple of years ago? Mets acquire Olerud for starting pitcher Robert Person.
And Toronto paid his entire contract.
$5 million.
So they were actually getting a player, giving up one, and the other team is paying his contract, and he has done nothing but swing the bat and swing it well in New York.
Word out of Toronto at the time, Cito Gaston thought Olerud could not do it at the plate anymore.
Well, they were forcing him to try to pull the ball. He's not really a pull hitter. He'll hit home runs by mistake. He gets over to a Mets uniform, and they said, hey, go back to the way you hit 360. Hit the ball all over the ballpark, and you see his high numbers now for Olerud.
Strike called, 1-2. Mike Piazza, a grand slam. And the Mets victory today over the Arizona Diamondbacks, 9-4. Cubs lost to the Astros, so the Mets with a 1-game lead in the wild card race. And the Mets and Yankees in the playoffs in the same year, something that has not happened.
Oh, can you imagine that city? Wow.
High and tight, 2-2. Mets with a 1-game lead over the Chicago Cubs. Atlanta, Houston, and San Diego, the division leaders. If the Mets qualified from the East, Atlanta would face Houston in the first round.
With Randy Johnson on the mound. What a great matchup that would be. But still a long way and a lot of baseball to be played.
Mets with the victory today. 1 game ahead of the Cubs. And the reason Houston would face Atlanta in that scenario, you cannot play a team in your division in the divisional series, so the Mets could not face the Braves.
A lot of people did not like the wild card initially. I love it. It keeps a lot of other teams in the race and a lot of cities excited.
Base hit right field, 7-4 Yankees. 3rd RBI of the night for Bernie Williams.
Well, just a balanced attack tonight. Everybody contributing. Jeter 3 hits, a couple RBIs, a couple of runs scored. Bernie 3 for 3 now with 3 runs driven in. Look at how he sits on that back leg. A lot of confidence in his hands and his wrist. Sits down, drives in Jeter with the base hit and the RBI to right field. I think that's the key for most hitters. They believe they can wait long enough and then have confidence in their hands to be able to get the bat through the hitting area.
Tino Martinez, like Paul O'Neill, 0 for 3 tonight. He has ended innings twice, stranding 3 runners in the process, also grounded into a double play.
Well, wasn't that part of our opening? Every day it's somebody different for the Yankees. Last night it was Tino's turn, so he could take a night off tonight. Somebody else will step up.
Strike called, 1-1.
And again, 7 runs scored with David Cone on the mound. They have been averaging 7 runs in David Cone's start all year long. It's got to be a great feeling to know you're going to get 7 runs scored for you every night if you're a starter.
Early in the season, Cone was giving up a lot of runs, but it didn't matter. In fact, over his first 2 starts, Cone's earned run average was 14.9, and he went on to win his next 9 starts.
Yeah, the amazing thing, though, and we touched on it briefly, is that he had surgery. October, wasn't even supposed to be back till like May 15th. But here he is looking for his 19th win.
And he was bitten by his mother's dog earlier this season.
Yeah, the little dog got a hold of him.
Dog bites man. Martinez hits this one sharply into right. The catch is made by Gonzalez for the 2nd out here in the Yankees' 6th. Well, Rick, Monday on FX, Boulder is in search of an alien bounty hunter who has taken Scully prisoner. Monday is night number 41 of 100 nights of the X-Files. Keep watching weeknights at 8 and 11 right here on FX. I know you'll be tuning in.
Will not miss it.
Night number 41 of 100. Joey Davis, 2 for 3. Marty Williams with 3 hits. Jeter 3 hits. Knobloch has reached base 3 times. Chili with 2 hits. Girardi a pair of hits.
It'll be interesting to watch this at bat for Chili Davis. All 3 balls smoked the other way. You know, they might change their pitching pattern. See if the veteran hitter adjusts to something maybe inside. I mean, look at his at-bats. He has smoked a single to left, a double to left, line drive out that was smoked at Clayton. So 3 balls driven the other way. Now he may take a peek, especially with 2 outs. Look maybe to get the bat head out and pull something.
Two outs in the 6th, 0-1 on Davis. Held up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The other thing you have to remember, Ivan Rodriguez loves to throw. And when I first came up, I liked to throw too. And the only time you try to pick a runner off first base is with the lefty batter at the plate, because it actually blocks the vision of the runner from the catcher.
1-2 on Davis.
Everybody in the league knows Rodriguez loves to throw also. Jose Cardinal, the first base coach, will remind Bernie Williams, watch it, this guy likes to throw. But the time Rodriguez picks you off is especially with the lefty batter at the plate. There's Jose. Pretty good coaching staff Joe Torre's assembled here. Willie Randolph, Chambliss, Stottlemyre, Don Zimmer.
Don Zimmer, 50 years in professional baseball. Last weekend, after a game against the Rangers, Yankees closed the locker room and presented Zimmer with an oil painting commemorating his 50 seasons. It was Joe Girardi's idea. They spent some time together in Colorado with the Rockies, and Zimmer recommended that the Yankees go after Girardi after the 95 season.
An oil painting?
An oil painting.
Of?
Well, this one gets by Pudge, and Williams heads down to second. I did not see the oil painting, but I assume it included the many faces of Don Zimmer.
Oh, and there are many faces of Don Zimmer. That just looked like Rodriguez took his eye off the baseball and it just ticked him off his glove. Many, many faces of Popeye.
50 years in the game.
And you know he's got nightmares every time he looks over in the other dugout and sees Bucky Dent.
Yep. Check swing, strike 3 called. That will do it for the Yankees in the 6th, but they score 3 runs and take a 7-4 lead. Yankees looking for victory number 94 for David Cone. Tonight would mark his 19th victory. Should the Yankees hold on, Cone leading the majors. His teammate David Wells not too far behind in the victory column. The race for the Cy Young.
I tell you, right there, and then you add Pedro Martinez. I think one of those 3 will get it. Actually, if you look on paper, David Wells with the 6 complete games and the 4 shutouts and the perfect game may have a slight advantage on David Cone.
And the start in the All-Star game. Pudge Rodriguez homered his last time up. Back in the 4th inning, leading it off, a solo shot. This tied the game at 4.
Breaking ball on the inside part of the plate, number 100 of his major league career. 100 home runs for Ivan Rodriguez.
Now 1-1. Rick, as I started to say back in the 4th inning, before I was rudely interrupted by the home run, Rodriguez, the subject of trade talks last year with the Yankees. He was about to become a free agent. Rangers did not want to lose him for nothing after the season. Jorge Posada, the Yankees catcher, one of the names involved. However, Rodriguez walked into the front office on his own, started the negotiations, signed a 5-year, $42 million deal.
Yeah, probably less money than he would have received if he became a free agent. But that's what I was saying about Bernie Williams. I mean, it comes a time where there's so many millions involved. Why not stay where you're comfortable and where you're happy? And I give Ivan a lot of credit for just walking in and saying, listen, I don't want to be traded anywhere. I want to stay right here. I like it. And they got the details done in the 11th hour. I mean, it came down to 1 hour away from him being traded to the Yankees.
The bat goes flying into the stands behind the Yankees dugout as Rodriguez strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. Well, the fans here at the ballpark certainly want this youngster to be allowed to keep the bat, but they'll probably send over another one, as they usually do.
Yeah, they'll probably trade one. That's his game bat. He just did his 100th career home run with it. He wants to keep it. I would imagine the bat boys running around getting a new bat to give that fan, which is usually the case.
Todd Zeile steps in. Zeile 0 for 2 tonight. Zeile played his first 6.5 season, Trick, with the St. Louis Cardinals. Since then, he's played for 6 different clubs the last 4 years.
He's going after my record. 8 clubs. Roberto Kelly is also at 8 clubs, but Todd Zeile, boy, it's been a, you know what happens when you get traded to a team, you get a new suitcase. So he's got plenty of storage.
You get to keep the old one?
But you keep the old ones, yeah.
Started the year in Los Angeles. Traded to the Marlins. And he takes a strike, 1-1. Happy to be with a contender here in Texas. How many games did Zeile pick up in the standings with the move from South Florida?
Yeah, he picked up an awful lot. And what they want at the Rangers is somebody they can depend on.
Line drive caught by Derek Jeter, 2nd out here in the 6th.
Well, it looked like he got away with another mistake. Zeile just crushes it. Jeter showing his basketball skills. High to make the play.
Our Gillette key matchup. The Rangers against David Cone tonight. 2 home runs, a 3-run shot by Gonzalez, and a solo homer off the bat of Pudge Rodriguez. Cone has settled down. He's allowed only 1 base hit in 2 2/3 since the home run.
Remember me talking about inventing pitches and finding ways to win ball games. David Cone does not have his good stuff today. He has used an awful lot of splitters, breaking balls, has not established his fastball at all in this ball game.
Warren Newson with a hit up the middle. A 2-out single. So Newson keeps the 6th inning alive as Royce Clayton steps up to the plate. Chad Curtis, by the way, has come on here in the 6th as a defensive replacement for Darryl Strawberry, as has been the case during the course of the season. Strawberry has not played many games in left. There's Curtis, who filled in admirably during Bernie Williams' injury in center field. Clayton takes ball 1. He's 1 for 2, a bunt single back in the 3rd inning. Yankees leading at 7-4. They scored 3 in the top of this inning to go on top once again. 3 runs batted in for Bernie Williams. Derek Jeter has driven in a pair. 1-1 on Clayton.
Again, you can see Cone not real comfortable on the mound, but able to battle through it. Get into the 6th inning when you don't have your good stuff. That's the difference between guys that are 500 pitchers and a guy that's 166 and 90 in his major league career.
2-1 on Clayton.
You know, you talk to the older pitchers that have been around, and David Cohn now can be included in that. You ask them how many times do they actually take the mound where they think everything feels right and everything's working? Maybe once or twice an entire year where they actually no aches and pains and everything is working for them.
How many of those 166 were you behind the plate for?
I think Coney won about 18 ball games when I had him with the Mets in '91. He had that 19 strikeout performance the last day of the season against the Philadelphia Phillies. Always great stuff.
That is the 4th walk. Very uncharacteristic 4th walk issued by Cohn. Mike Stanton up in the Yankee pen. 2 base runners with 2 out. There's the left-hander Stanton. Warren Newson, the runner on second. Royce Clayton down at first. Tom Goodwin 0 for 3 from the leadoff spot tonight. Goodwin represents the tying run here in the 6th inning. And a base hit into right center. 1 run in. Here comes Clayton. Goodwin slips between second and third, has to retreat to second, but he drives in a pair, and the Rangers pull to within 7-6, all with 2 out.
Well, we mentioned Tom Goodwin can fly. Only 10 extra base hits on the season. Make it 11 now. He picks him up and puts him down right here. Whoa, look out. I don't know if he saw Jerry Narron holding him up, but he really went into the slide. 2-run double for Tom Goodwin.
Joe Torre out to the mound, signals for the left-hander, Stanton, who must hold the Rangers here in the 6th, or else Cole will not pick up victory number 19.
Saves, but the high ERA, and he's familiar with this ballpark. Prior to coming to the Yankees, pitched here in a Rangers uniform. 1996. One of the moves the Yankees made to shore up that bullpen in '96 prior to winning that World Series.
The runner on second is Goodwin, who represents the tying run. If he comes around to score, Cole would leave with a no decision. We still have the opportunity for a victory if Stanton can retire McLemore. McLemore 1 for 3 against Cole tonight. Rangers have pulled within a run. And a strike called on McLemore, 0-1.
Yeah, you look at McLemore, the 6th best hitter in the American League with runners in scoring position on the year. 360 for the season.
Come on, man, come on.
His hit in the first inning broke an 0 for 9 slump. He's only 10 for his last 62. And he falls behind. No balls, 2 strikes.
Mel Stottlemyre, we showed you his picture before. He preaches, work ahead in the count. I don't care who you are. You fall behind major league hitters, you're going to give it up.
The 0-2 from Stanton. 1-2.
I mean, that is his biggest belief. Most 2 important pitches. First pitch to a hitter and the 1-1 pitch. Big difference for a major league hitter if he's hitting 2-1 in the count rather than 1-2 down. Now he has to be a little protected.
McLemore held up. Now 2-2 with 2 outs. Goodwin, the runner on second. You mentioned it, Rick. McLemore, 360 with runners in scoring position. Tops on the Rangers, 6th in the American League. Strike 3 call. Stanton comes in and retires McLemore. Cohen still the pitcher of record. Rangers scored 2 runs and now trail 7-6. Curtis will bat for the first time. Came in as a defensive replacement for Darryl Strawberry. Curtis with 9 home runs. When he hits his 10th, that would tie a Yankee record. 9 players with 10 or more home runs back in 1980. Rick Cerone with 14, one of the 9.
Wow, back in 1980, we won 103 ball games that year. The Orioles only 3 behind. They won 100 games and didn't qualify for postseason.
Is that a career high? 14?
Career high, yeah. That was a lot of fun that year. A lot of players contributing. And if Chad Curtis hits 1 more home run, he'll make it 9 with 10 this year.
Bobby Mercer also on that list. A couple of booths down. Yankee broadcaster on the TV side. Curtis only 3 of his last 27. Bounces this one back to the mound, and he is thrown out by Crabtree. 1 away in the Yankees' 7th. Curtis had started 34 consecutive games in center field during the Marty Williams injury. And the Yankees did not miss much during Williams' absence. Curtis was outstanding. Of course, they missed Williams, but Curtis did a more than admirable job in center.
I mean, that's what's been amazing about the Yankees this year. They've lost Jeter for an extended period of time. Bernie Williams, Chili Davis, who they counted on as their everyday DH almost the entire year, and still able to win 93 ball games.
Loop into right. Second hit of the game for Brocious. The Yankees have had at least 1 base runner every inning except the 5th. A 1-out single here in the 7th. Now this season, Rick, here are the 8 Yankees with at least 10 home runs. Chad Curtis just 1 shy.
Well, you remember in '80 we had Reggie Jackson had 41 that year, so Strawberry leading it, Martinez, Bernie. But see, this is what it's showing you. Everybody contributing, somebody different every day. And when Curtis hits his 10th home run, they'll tie the club record with 9 guys with 10 or more home runs in a season. That's a lot when you think about it.
Runner going, pitch out, throw by Rodriguez. Clayton could not handle the throw, and Brocious is in with his 9th steal of the season.
Well, they guessed right. 7-6 ball game. Brocious most likely a hit and run with Girardi at the plate. Plenty of time. Just takes his eye off the baseball. We have seen the Rangers just making bad plays in the field, self-destructing right before your eyes. I mean, that really should be called an error, but I don't know if they will assume the error there. It should be. Brocious a dead duck at second on the pitch out.
0-1 on Girardi. Bounce to the third baseman, Gil, throws across. Brocious moves over to third. The Yankees now with 129 steals, second in the American League behind the Blue Jays. They actually went 9 games without a steal over the last couple of weeks. But they are second in the league.
Yeah, the Bronx Bombers. Well, now they're the Burners. They steal in bases, but the Bombers are back. They also have hit 71 home runs since the All-Star break, and that's more than any team in baseball. I mean, a lot of different weapons. And Joe Torre, I mean, we sat together today, and he said it's been fun. Whoever I put in the lineup does their job, and the one thing, they work hard every day.
Chuck Knobloch has reached base 3 times tonight. He scored 2 runs. Hit his 17th home run last night, most by a Yankees second baseman in over 50 years. 13 of the 17, as we told you, coming since the All-Star break. And Jeter and Knobloch, the first set of Yankee middle infielders to both hit more than 15 in the same season.
I mean, it's surprising, too. The power number's really high for Knobloch, and no explanation why all of a sudden 13 home runs since the All-Star break.
1-1 with 2 outs. Brocious the runner on third, and a ground ball to the second baseman, McLemore. He commits the 4th Ranger error of the game as Brocious comes in to score. It is now 8-6 Yankees.
And you know Johnny Oates has just got to be burning. You cannot win championships by booting the ball, giving good teams extra outs. Should have been an error on Clayton. This is a ground ball routine at second base. Boots it. 4th error of the night for the Rangers, and you know Johnny Oates is just simmering in that dugout.
Rangers committed 5 in a game against the Giants back in June. Error number 13 on the season committed by McLemore. Twice tonight, Knobloch has reached on an error by a Texas infielder. So the Yankees lead is now 8-6. Derek Jeter, 3 for 4. Jeter reached on an error as well.
Johnny Oates, you know right now, he is churning inside. We just talked about that 1980 team. Johnny was on that team.
That's right.
1980.
Retired during the 1981 season as a member of the Yankees.
You know, I learned an awful lot from that man in baseball. Always would sit with me. I was a young player in 80, and he would sit with me, talk to me about calling a game.
The Rangers coach, Jerry Narron, was a Yankee catcher in '79, the previous year.
Well, there's a lot of connections. You have Bucky Dent in that dugout also. Eddie Napoleon, their first base coach, also a Yankee connection. But I tell you, Doug Melvin, the GM, now used to throw batting practice. As you look at the Blue Jays and Angels, 1-0, 1-1 in the 4th. But Johnny Oates, a class guy. But you know right now, I know exactly what he's saying. What is going on here?
Clayton, the only Rangers infielder who has not committed an error tonight, has not been charged with one at least.
Yeah, that's it.
Off Crabtree, and Clayton boots it. It deflected off the pitcher Crabtree, and Derek Jeter has reached base for the 5th time tonight.
You wonder how they're going to rule this one. Well, I mean, he's in position, just takes his eye off the ball. That's Clayton's, should be 2 in this inning, but he'll receive his first error.
So all 4, what do you call that? All 4 Rangers infielders
Bad defense.
have committed errors tonight. Yankees committed 5 errors on Thursday in Minnesota. 5 for the Rangers tonight, ties a season high, and that will be all for Tim Crabtree. The Yankees lead is 8-6, 2 on, 2 out in the 7th. On the mound, with the Yankees leading by an 8-6 score. Tune into Baseball Thursday this week on Fox Sports Net, and you can win a trip for the following week's game in Toronto, courtesy of MCI. Check local listings for the times on Fox Sports Net. It doesn't get much better than this. 32-year-old left-hander Eric Gunderson is the new Rangers pitcher in relief of Tim Crabtree. Gunderson will make his team-leading 56th appearance on the year.
Only lefty in Johnny Oates' bullpen. They have signed Tony Fossis. There it is. If you're breathing and you still throw with your left hand.
Is it Fossis or Fossil?
It's getting close to becoming a fossil, but he's down in their minor league system.
No disrespect to Tony, of course.
No, not at all. I mean, he could still get lefties out. That's the amazing thing. The other guy that comes to mind, Jesse Orozco, 41 years old with the Orioles, just signed a 2-year extension.
So when you have your next son, Rick, tie the right hand behind his back, stick the fork and the baseball in his hand and the pen,
Now, the one thing about Gunderson, though, left-handers hitting .322 on the season against Eric Gunderson.
And he has surrendered 4 home runs in his last 7 1/3 innings, 4 to left-handed batters. Paul O'Neill, 0 for 3, drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 6th. 2 on, 2 out. Knobloch on second. Jeter, the runner, on first. Strike called, 0-2. Two for 11 lifetime against Gunderson. Gunderson ahead of the count. No balls, 2 strikes. In the dirt, nice block by Rodriguez. Paul O'Neill, in his 6th season with the Yankees, acquired a trade for current Texas Ranger Roberto Kelly. Check out the numbers before and after. O'Neill, 6 years with the Reds, 259. Kelly, 281 with the Yankees during the same time span. Since then, O'Neill 316, Kelly 6 different teams.
I mean, yeah, and that was a steal by the Yankees. O'Neill at 316.
Ground ball to the right side. And the sarcastic roar from the crowd as McLemore is able to make the play. But Rangers infielders commit 2 errors. Arlington, Johnny Oates has watched his club commit 5 errors tonight, as the Rangers trail the Yankees 8-6. Angels and the Blue Jays tied at 1 in the 4th in Anaheim. Rangers currently trailing the first place Angels by a game and a half. In the American League West, Kenny Albert, Rick Cerrone, 7th inning stretch here in Arlington, with the home team trailing by 2. Mike Stanton, who came on in relief of David Cone in the 6th and promptly struck out Mark McLemore looking. Stanton will face Greer, Gonzalez, and Clark here in the 7th. 8-6 Yankee lead. Rusty Greer leading it off. Greer has reached base, all 3 plate appearances, 2 walks and a single. Greer takes a strike, 1-1. The count. And Rusty Greer, the leadoff man for the Rangers, here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, Kenny, you talked about the 13th sellout here at the ballpark in Arlington. That's the most sellouts they've had since the first season. They had 21 sellouts. And nice crowd on hand, but they did not want to see the Rangers boot the ball around the infield like they have tonight.
Now 2-2 on Greer. Beautiful night. Hot and humid as usual here in Arlington.
Now, how do you like this ballpark? I mean, they've copied a lot of different things in center field, maybe after the Sky Dome in Toronto, the overhang in right field like Tigers Stadium.
The seating area reminds you of Camden Yards. Camden Yards, of course, with the warehouse. Here in Arlington, the skybox is out in center field. In Baltimore, the out-of-town scoreboard is in right. Here it's in left.
Well, I think the scoreboard in left here with the higher wall, maybe similar to Fenway Park. Oh, just very big. I like it. A lot of different things in this ballpark.
Troy Aikman owns a luxury box.
Yeah, Troy Aikman. Dallas Cowboys getting ready. Exhibition series. Yeah. I think that's like Fenway Park.
Who's that guy next to the Detroit score?
Yeah, who is
in the scoreboard?
He is working. Oh, yeah. Hit it here when his free suit. 501 feet. Yeah, but that's about 900 feet away.
Greer fouls off another one, reminiscent of the old Abe Stark sign at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. Hit it here, with a free suit.
How about that guy?
See a Tigers fan?
Look at that in the scoreboard. Working it out there. Another guy. Hey, did they pay to get those seats?
They're all over the place. Full count on Rusty Greer leading off the 7th.
Then at the top of the stadium, they have like the old Yankee facade. And they really took a lot of elements from different ballparks and made it into one here in Arlington.
Greer into center, falls in front of Bernie Williams. Greer's second consecutive base hit. Well, this week on FX Major Movies Sunday, 3 brothers plan to rob a bank. Too bad they don't have the brains to pull it off. Watch Trapped in Paradise tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only on FX Major Movie Sunday. I guess the brains went to Mulder and Scully.
You're right. Oh, and Rusty Greer just continues to wear out Mike Stanton. 6 for 11 now lifetime. Here's another guy. 2 for 5 lifetime, but those two are home runs against Mike Stanton. An opportunity for Gonzalez to tie up this ball game.
He gave the Rangers a 1-run lead earlier with a 3-run shot. And he takes strike 1 from his former teammate, Mike Stanton, who spent the second portion of the '96 season here in Texas, following a trade with the Boston Red Sox.
We saw that Stanton's first pitch underneath the hands, good fastball inside to make Gonzalez aware. The one thing you can't do is miss inside. Gets it back over the plate, he'll have a good rip at it.
He sent one 449 feet earlier, his 36th homer of the season. RBIs number 122, 123, and 124, tying former Texas Ranger Sammy Sosa.
Oh, what a year. What a year he is having.
Sosa 49 homers, 3 behind McGuire, who hit number 52 tonight in a 14-4 loss to the Pittsburgh Pirates. 9 away from tying Roger Maris on August 22nd. Mark McGuire himself said before the season, if anybody hit number 50 prior to September, he thought they would have a shot.
Yeah, well, he's prior to September, he's got more than a shot.
Sosa with 49. Griffey Jr. stuck at 42. This could be number 37 for Gonzalez. Curtis looking up. It is.
It almost reminds you of the series he had in the postseason. Just 5 home runs in that postseason series. Look at the breaking ball, stays in the middle of the plate. He tried to sneak 3 fastballs by him. Breaking ball he goes to. Gonzalez crushes it. 5 RBIs tonight, 2 home runs, 37 on the year, and a tie ball game.
And now Will Clark into the stands in right field. They go back to back. And the Rangers have taken the lead. Home run number 17 for Will the Thrill.
Well, the crowd didn't even get a chance to sit down. They were looking for a curtain call from Juan Gonzalez. And in the meantime, Will Clark just blasts a home run to right field. Well, you see the reaction in Joe Torre, Don Zimmer, but the crowd, like I said, they didn't get a chance to sit down. All of a sudden tied, and the next thing you know, 1 pitch later, bingo.
For Will Clark, only his 2nd homer in the last 22 games. So Mike Stanton faces 4 batters, allows 3 runs, 2 home runs. David Cone will not win his 19th tonight. Stanton to the showers. The Rangers back on top. Juan Gonzalez entered the day 3 RBI behind Sammy Sosa. He is now 2 ahead.
Well, I mean, he can get hot in a hurry. What, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs. 126 now. Needs 65 to break the Major League record. Hack Wilson, he's getting closer.
He still needs to average 2 per game.
Oh, to really shatter the record.
5 tonight. It's the Rangers 9 and the Yankees 8. And what a story we have developing on the mound right now for the Yankees. Ryan Bradley, 22 years of age, began the season in Single A Tampa. First round draft pick a year ago out of Arizona State, recalled yesterday. Warmed up in the bullpen yesterday, and he will make his Major League debut. 22 years of age, threw a no-hitter in the minors July 8th, worked his way up all the way from Single A earlier this season, and he is now on the mound for the New York Yankees. His Major League debut. Facing Pudge Rodriguez.
Yeah, you're wondering, what is he thinking? Well, I don't remember 46,000 people in Tampa when I started this year.
22 years of age, 6'4", out of Arizona State. There's his first Major League strike, 1-1.
His combined numbers for the year, 9-4, a 2.20 ERA, 7 saves. He originally started as the closer in the minor leagues.
He was a reliever through his collegiate days and up until the early portion of this season, but the Yankees wanted to get Bradley more innings.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, everybody makes their Major League debut that does. Their feet aren't touching the ground. You wonder what he's thinking right now on the mound.
Foul back, 2-2. Mike Stanton in a third of an inning allows 3 runs, 2 home runs. Ryan Bradley's fiance made the drive this week from Tampa up to Columbus. He was promoted to AAA. Yesterday morning, he got the call to fly to Arlington. She's in Columbus. Rodriguez into right. And Ryan Bradley retires, the first Major League batter that he has faced, as Paul O'Neill makes the catch for the first out of the 7th. There was speculation over the last couple of weeks that the Yankees would promote Bradley prior to the roster freeze as far as the postseason roster is concerned. And because Mike Buddy started the other night, an emergency start for the injured Hideki Irabu, they felt Buddy could not pitch for another 4 or 5 days. They wanted another arm out of the bullpen, hence the recall of Bradley.
Yeah, but it's amazing. And one of the things, a guy, a 22-year-old, let's not forget, he's 22, pitched at Arizona State. I mean, that's almost like the minor leagues. So you're able to make the jump a little quicker than a high school student that works his way through the minor leagues. But a nice, interesting story. I just feel bad for the fiance. Still back in Columbus, missing his Major League debut. Well, maybe she's watching it on FX right now.
Hopefully watching us, and we are told she will make the drive to New York to meet the Yankees when they return home.
There's those numbers I was talking about. Originally a closer, went to the rotation.
He won his last 5 starts as Todd Zeile flies out to right. 2 away here in the 7th.
Yeah, that's what right now he's saying, oh, this is easy. I got guys that can run them down in the outfield, bigger ballparks. I'll let him swing the bat. Now he's probably breathing a little bit easier.
He retired Rodriguez and Zeile and will now face Warren Newson. Newson 1 for 3. Rangers have got ahead by a 9-8 score. 3 runs here in the 7th. 7 of the 9 Texas runs coming via the long ball. 4 Yankee homers last night, 4 Ranger home runs tonight. Not good news for Mel Stottlemyre and Joe Torre.
One thing I noticed with Ryan Bradley, throws a little bit across his body. Makes it a little bit tougher for the hitter to see the release point of where he's letting go the baseball. So the ball will appear a lot quicker to the hitter, a couple of miles an hour faster.
And Rick, for Juan Gonzalez, his 6th multiple homer game this season, 33rd of his career.
Yeah, 31 times he's got hit 2 big flies in a game, and twice he's down 3 times in a game.
Newson, a towering fly ball into right center. Bernie Williams calling off Paul O'Neill, so Ryan Bradley comes on. And
for the Oilers.
Fly ball 8th inning here at Arlington. Seesaw battle, 9-8 Texas lead. Juan Gonzalez a pair of home runs, 5 runs batted in. And Rick, our MCI interactive question comes from Gene of Seabrook, Maryland. A big fan of yours on the Orioles telecasts. Why don't the Yankees have names on the back of their uniforms?
Well, the obvious answer I would think would be because of tradition. Over the years they haven't. But my answer is so they could sell more programs.
That's it.
People that come into the ballpark the first time. Who is number 30? Well, you buy a program. It costs a couple of bucks. Oh, it's Willie Randolph.
In fact, the Yankees list all the retired numbers amongst their numerical roster in the programs, on the scorecard page where they list all the numbers.
Well, what's the old saying? You can't tell the players without a scorecard?
In fact, I know you were waiting for this, Rick. It was back on April 16th, 1929, when the Yankees became the first team to wear uniform numbers.
Well, see, there you have it. Tradition. Tradition, Gene. Goes back to 1929.
How about this matchup? Bernie Williams, Xavier Hernandez on Sunday. Bernie won the game for the Yankees with a 9th inning home run against, guess who?
Xavier Hernandez.
His former teammate. Hernandez, a Yankee, back in 1994. 33-year-old right-hander has allowed only 1 earned run in his last 11 appearances, and that was the Williams homer.
Yeah, his best pitch is that fork ball that he likes to use once he gets ahead in the count.
What do you think Hernandez is thinking about right now? Do you think he's flashing back to Sunday?
Yeah, don't make that same mistake to Bernie.
He does not, and the play is made by McLemore. That was the 50th anniversary of Babe Ruth's death on Sunday. The Yankees observed a moment of silence before the game in tribute to Babe Ruth, and Bernie Williams won the game with the 9th inning home run a la the Babe. We apologize to those of you who may be experiencing some video problems at the moment. We are working on the problem. Top of the 8th inning, 9-8. Texas Rangers lead. 1 out. Tino Martinez 0 for 4. Very un-Tino Martinez-like evening, considering the Yankees have put 8 runs on the board, 13 hits. O'Neill and Martinez a combined 0 for 8. Martino, of course, with the 2 homers last night against the Rangers.
Well, what a victory this would be for the Rangers. I mean, you boot the ball all over the place, give up 8 runs, and yet you're leading in the ball game in the top of the 8th, 9-8.
Now 2-1 on Martinez. A no decision tonight for both starters, David Cohn and John Burkett. Hernandez, the 4th Rangers pitcher. Martinez chased that one, now 2-2.
That's that good fork ball. Xavier Hernandez teases hitters with it, tries them to chase it out of the strike zone.
2-2 from Hernandez. Up the middle, base hit. So Tino Martinez reaches base for the first time tonight with a 1-out single.
Well, after the forkball went with a high fastball, Tino, for a left-hand hitter, very good high ball hitter, takes a single right back up the middle. Take a look at it from the side. He's going to take the barrel of the bat, get on top of this high fastball, and return it to sender right back up the middle.
Chili Davis 2 for 4. Scored a run back in the second inning. In the dirt, good block by Rodriguez. 1-ball count on Davis with 1 out. Top of the 8th inning, Martinez, the runner on first for the Yankees.
Well, we have seen Rodriguez behind the plate tonight prevent a couple of runners from advancing. Good blocking. That was a tough one. That was about a 55-foot forkball.
Imagine committing 5 errors and leading the game.
That's the thing. I mean, if you're Johnny Oates, this is almost like stealing.
Angels have taken a 2-1 lead over the Blue Jays. Game-and-a-half lead over the Rangers in the AL West.
Johnny Oates not going to take any chances. Looks like John Wetland already up in their bullpen. There's Wetland. In case any more damage, might use Wetland to retire 5 hitters rather just than the normal 3 in the 9th.
Into left field, Rusty Greer. 2 away, here in the 8th. Rick, next week on Baseball Thursday, the division-leading Angels take on the Yankees. From Yankee Stadium, some of you will see Mark McGwire in his chase for Roger Maris, Cardinals, and the Braves. Check local listings for the game in your area. Angels and the Yankees, they will play 5 in 4 days. So the Rangers will certainly be looking for help from the Yankees next week. Remember earlier this season when the beam fell in Yankee Stadium? A couple of games canceled. The Yankees wound up playing the Tigers at Shea Stadium.
One of the luxuries Joe Torre was talking about, having 6 starters. With a lot of doubleheaders coming up. Doesn't matter who he plugs into that rotation, has been getting the job done. But they are a little short in the bullpen. That's why we see Bradley up now. Ramiro Mendoza, a little tender arm.
Chad Curtis batting for the second time. Yankees actually played the Angels at Shea. They flip-flop series with the Tigers, home and away. Curtis 0 for 1. 2 outs, top of the 8th, a 9-8 lead for the Texas Rangers.
Oh, wasn't this what we thought? A nice pitcher's duel. 9-8. Welcome to modern Major League Baseball.
American League style.
Oh, yeah.
2-0 on Curtis. Both the Rangers and the Angels winning at the moment. 6th inning in Anaheim. Angels have gone 9-4 the last 2 weeks. Rangers only 4-8. Texas going from 3 up in the West to a game-and-a-half behind. Yankees don't have that problem. They lead the Eastern Division by 18.5.
This has not been an easy place for the Yankees to play. They have not fared well in Texas.
Now Curtis with his first hit of the game into right center. Martinez on his way to third. And the Yankees again with 2 runners on with 2 out.
Chad Curtis mentioned did a nice job when Bernie Williams was down. Watch him stay inside this baseball and drive it to right center field. Boy, just inside the baseball. Watch Tino Martinez now. Able to go first to third, sees the ball. Now he picks up the third base coach, Willie Randolph. Hey, that must be that little same spot that Goodwin fell down.
Here comes Johnny Oates. John Wetland, the former Yankee MVP of the 1996 World Series, will come out to face his former club to try and pick up the final 4 outs of tonight's game.
First you bought a home, and then you fixed it up.
Birthday yesterday will come on with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Wetland's moment of glory, of course, with the Yankees. 1996. 4 saves and 4 opportunities. Charlie Hayes catching the final out against the Braves.
Great feeling for John Wetland. This year, 33 of 37 save opportunities. 3-1 on the season with an ERA 1.52. He has really developed not just into a closer, but a very good pitcher. See, only 8 walks and 59 strikeouts in 47 innings. He was using more breaking balls, not just the high fastballs anymore, from John Wetland. Another guy, another former teammate of mine. How about that bullpen in Montreal? Had Jeff Facero, Mel Rojas setting up John Wetland in 1992.
And he will face Scott Brosius with 2 on and 2 outs. Wetland third in the American League in saves with 33 behind Tom Gordon and Troy Percival. He's pitched in only 1 of the last 10 games prior to this one. Did not face the Yankees during the 4-game series last weekend. Brosius 2 hits tonight. Martinez the runner on third. Curtis on at first.
Well, we'll take a look at a scouting report on John Wetland. He now uses all his pitches, the curveball, the slider, fastball. If you're the Yankee hitters, you have to get the fastball down in the zone. And like I mentioned, the slider and curve become better out pitches for John Wetland.
Brosius hits this one to deep right field, and Scott Brosius has hit a 2-out, 3-run homer off John Wetland. New hero every night for the Yankees, Rick. It is now 11-9 New York.
What a wild, wild ball game. He took a fastball down and drove it the other way for a 3-run homer. Wow, John Wetland not used to coming in the 8th inning of ball games. Look at it. He got the fastball down in the zone. I didn't think this ball was going to carry enough, but it does. Just over in the bullpen. Juan Gonzalez helpless looking up. 3-run shot. Boy, big hit by Brosius.
Home run number 15 on the season. Girardi pops it up. No room for Rodriguez. So the Yankees, in a wild one, have gone back on top by the score of 11-9. 5th home run allowed this year by Wetland. Rangers bullpen first in save percentage. Over 80%. 37 saves and 46 opportunities.
Well, look at that. 18th time the Yankees have scored 10 or more runs this year. Well, look at that dugout. 371-foot homer by Brosius.
On the ground to short, Clayton. And Wetland retires the Yankees, but not before he allows a 3-run homer off the bat of Scott Brosius. 11-9 Yankees. Scott Brosius, the man of the hour for the New York Yankees. 3-run go-ahead home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, the top of the 8th off John Wetland. And the Yankees now lead 11-9. Ryan Bradley retired all 3 Rangers he faced in the 7th in his major league debut. Here in the 8th, Clayton, Goodwin, and McLemore. Bradley came in with the Yankees trailing 9-8, following back-to-back home runs, Gonzalez and Will Clark, and comes out to work his second inning with a 2-run lead.
It's been a crazy game. Kenny, he reminds you a little bit of a guy that's on the disabled list for the Yankees, Jeff Nelson, who they're not sure if is able going to be coming back before the end of the season. Throws really across his body. And the thing hitters want to see is a release point. He makes it very difficult to pick up the baseball.
Inside. Now 2-2.
I mean, just to talk about throwing across his body, he really steps towards the third base coaching box. This one, breaking ball, just never finishes and leaves it up and in. Gets an ooh and an ah out of the crowd, but it is a breaking ball that knocks down Clayton. Oh, make a hitter move his feet.
Clayton down on strikes. First major league strikeout for Ryan Bradley.
You got to be impressed. The one thing, if you're Mel Stottlemyre and Joe Torre, able to throw strikes. Doesn't know where he is. Still thinks he's back in Tampa or Columbus or Norwich. Doesn't know where he is, but he's pitching in the big leagues. Major league debut. Look at him throw across his body. Good life on a fastball upstairs.
Ground ball to the right side. And a diving play by Tino Martinez. Oh, what a play.
Are they having some fun? I mean, good hustle by Martinez. Wasn't sure if Bradley was going to get over there, so he's, I'm going to take it myself. Knows Goodwin's running. Head first slide, gets the uniform dirty. Everybody's getting dirty tonight. 11-9 ball game.
Would you say that play by Martinez would be a symbol of the Yankee season?
Yeah, I mean, they are gritty. We talked about it in our opening. They are a very determined bunch of players. They just work it every day. I mean, it's unbelievable what they're going through right now. I mean, if you're in the Rangers dugout, you got to be scratching your head. What do we have to do to beat this team right now?
All right, come on, Mac. 1-1 on McLemore.
I think the one thing pitching coaches look for in an arm, especially a young arm, is he willing to throw the ball over the plate? And Ryan Bradley has shown he's not scared to throw it over the plate.
McLemore hit. So he will head down to first. First time McLemore has been hit by a pitch this season.
Yeah, just as I was talking about his good control, he bounces a curveball off McLemore inside, and that'll bring Rusty Greer, who now represents the tying run.
And that will be all for Ryan Bradley, who retires the first 5 and then hits McLemore with a pitch. As was the case with John Wetland, his protege, Mariano Rivera, will come on to try and retire the final 4 Rangers here tonight.
Golf Digest.
He was the setup man. And right there, Ryan Bradley, a little disgusted with himself, but hey, he's in line to get the victory here. First major league victory. And Mariano Rivera, 32 out of 36 in save opportunities, 2-0 on the year. Had 22 consecutive saves, and he blew one against Kansas City last week. Pinpoint control, that's the one thing, and the smooth, easy delivery of Mariano Rivera.
In the series last week against the Rangers, all Rivera did was earn 1 win and 2 saves.
Just a nice delivery, and the ball explodes, and it's got some tremendous movement on it. That's the one thing you maybe can't appreciate watching on TV, but it really cuts in. If you look at the most saves in the AL, Gordon, Percival, Wetland, who blew one here tonight, and Mariano Rivera with 32. Rivera gives John Wetland an awful lot of credit. Really taught him the ropes down there. They used to talk to each other every day. 1996, he was the setup man, would pitch the 7th and 8th innings. Wetland would close it out, and really have developed a nice bond. And, you know, I mentioned the scouting report. Look, easy, fluid motion. Fastball, 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 and late movement. The ball really cuts in to a left-handed batter. Very smooth delivery, though. I think that's what's surprising. 95 miles an hour, easy gas, we like to say. Easy gas. It just keeps coming at the hitter.
And Rivera will face Rusty Greer with 2 outs in the 8th. Runner on first is McLemore. Greer has walked twice tonight and is 2 for 2, a pair of singles. And he represents the tying run. Strike called, 0-1.
Oh, there it is. I mean, just an easy motion. The ball explodes. Really, the last 3 feet towards the plate. Just keeps coming after you.
One and one on Greer.
Saw just 2 for 12 lifetime against Rivera's Rusty Greer.
2-1.
So that ball from the center field camera really looks straight, but it's anything but straight. I remember talking to Paul Molitor about Rivera. He said, boy, it's just late movement.
Foul back, 2-2.
You know, you think of Molitor, one of the shortest, quickest strokes in baseball, and I saw him swing through so many pitches against Rivera. I asked him, I said, what is it? He said, Rick, you think you're on the ball, and then like a Maddox, it just sails away from you. Because from center field, you really can't appreciate that movement.
Whooped down the left field line, foul.
Kenny, that was kind of similar to what I was talking about. You go out after the baseball, you think it's in the middle of the plate like Greer did. Next thing you know, it's right by the trademark. He'll check to see if he needs a new piece of lumber, but I guess it's still intact.
The 2-2 from Rivera. And Greer fouls it back. Stays alive with 2 outs in the 8th. Juan Gonzalez waiting on deck. 2 homers, 5 runs batted in tonight.
Pretty good at bat, Rusty Greer is putting on Mariano Rivera. And if you're Rivera and the Yankees, you're saying, this is the guy I have to get out now. You want to face Gonzalez maybe leading off the night. You don't want to face him here with 2 runners on where he can put you in front. This is the guy Rivera and all the Yankees want him to retire.
High and inside, full count on Greer.
But the way this game is going, you wouldn't expect anything else.
McLemore going. And Greer fouls yet another one off. 20 runs tonight combined, 26 hits, 5 Texas errors. The teams have combined to leave 15 men on base.
Do you want to put this one in a time capsule?
4 lead changes. McLemore on the move. Bounced foul. Was that 5 in a row?
Yeah, Rusty Greer is saying, should I turn this bat around? Because it's getting on my fingers. Hitting it down by the trademark. It's a pretty good battle. He knows the situation. He's trying to get on base any way possible to let Gonzalez hit in this inning.
There goes McLemore. Fouled back. Just to the left of our broadcast booth. So the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. McLemore getting some exercise.
Oh, yeah, those legs are in good shape now.
And he's been suffering from knee problems. He was just hit by a pitch in the ankle. 7 in a row. Fouled off by Greer.
Oh, this is an outstanding battle.
Base hit right field. McLemore over to third. And he just made it.
Oh, right, you know he's hurting. But boy, oh boy, that is a big gamble, especially with Gonzalez coming to the plate. Oh, what a battle by Greer. Fighting it off, able to get the base hit. You talked about Derek Jeter reaching base 5 times. Well, how about Rusty Greer? 2 walks and 3 singles for Greer. But more importantly, gets Gonzalez an opportunity to swing the bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
An 11 pitch at bat.
11 pitch at bat. Look, he's hurting. You talked about his legs, and I'll tell you what, pretty close to third base. Oh, didn't everybody pay to see this confrontation? If you're wondering about in the past, what has Gonzalez done against Rivera? How about 4 for 11 lifetime with a long ball?
He's hit 2 out tonight. He's driven in 5. And he represents the go-ahead run. 2 on, 2 out. Well, Gonzalez did not mean to do that. And excuse me, check swing. Grounds out to Martinez unassisted. The Rangers strand 2 as Ryan Bradley offers his congratulatory high fives. He stands to earn the win.
Watch, he's trying to get out of the way. Never even sees the ball make contact. And instead of going foul, it goes right to Tino Martinez. Inning over. Didn't get an opportunity to swing the bat. Very frustrating for Juan Gonzalez and the Rangers.
Top of the order for the Yankees. Chuck Knobloch and Derek Jeter have reached base a combined 9 of 10 plate appearances tonight. They have scored 4 of the Yankees' runs.
Remember what we said right in the first inning? I think the 2 guys that make this lineup go are Knobloch and Jeter. You get your leadoff hitters on, your second guy on, create a lot of havoc on the base paths, and the big guys can drive them in.
And they have both reached on an error twice tonight. Knobloch and Jeter have. This time, Knobloch will pop out to the second baseman, McLemore. 1 away. Well, Rick, our game summary. The numbers crunchers working overtime. 3 hours, 38 minutes, 20 runs, 5 home runs, 27 hits, 7 extra base hits, 15 left on. Now 17, including the Rangers' 8th inning. 5 Texas errors. A combined 311 pitches, and we have now moved to 3 hours, 39 minutes.
Yeah, and the only thing not there, 4 pencils used to keep track of all the pitches.
And 2 hot dogs in the booth.
Yeah, and 2 hot dogs in the booth, and Ryan Bradley, yeah, may get his first major league win.
Began the year in Single-A Tampa. The hitting stars for the Yankees here tonight. There are 4 of them. Scott Brocious, the 3-run homer in the 8th. 3 hits apiece for Jeter and Williams. Bernie Williams, 3 runs batted in. Jeter has driven in 2. And Chuck Knobloch reached base 4 times, scored 2 runs.
Yeah, how about Brocious? I mean, he had the 3-run homer, but also 3 hits and 3 runs scored.
1 and 2 on Jeter, who has reached base all 5 times. 3 hits, he's driven in 2, he's scored 2. Just another day at the office.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. What do you expect from a 24-year-old having fun in the big leagues? One guy not having fun right now, John Wetland, gave up that 3-run homer to Scott Brocious.
Jeter and Wetland had fun together 2 years ago, especially in October.
You brought up a point. Only 1 time he's made an appearance in the last 10 days, John Wetland. But it looked like it was a pretty good pitch that he threw to Brocious. I mean, the ball was down. He was able to just drive it the other way and out.
And it just made it out.
Yeah, it sure did. Sure did.
Now symbolic that Juan Gonzalez, who has hit 2 tonight for the Rangers and has driven in 5, drifted back to the track and watched the Brocious home run go just over his head in right field to give the Yankees an 11-9 lead as they look to tie a season high 62 games over 500. Looking ahead to the Rangers' 9th, Clark, Rodriguez, and Zeal. So it's not over yet. Clark and Rodriguez have both gone deep tonight. I told you earlier, imagine the Rangers having committed 5 errors, yet they led at the time. How about this? They've hit 4 home runs and they trail.
It's just a wild ball game, and a team that has won 93 ball games finds ways to win the close games late. I mean, that's the difference. They expect to win every day they show up on the field. And the one thing Joe Torre said is they forget about yesterday. You know, they might have played a great game. They forget about it. Today's a new day, and they want to find a way to win today.
Seems like every time the Yankees lose, they come back and blow out the opponent the next day. They have not lost 3 in a row since the first week of the season. As Jeter heads down to first. The executive producers of FX Baseball Saturday night, all 3 hours, 39 minutes worth, are Arthur Smith and Bill Borson. The coordinating producer is Larry Myers. Tonight's game produced by Jim Drake. Our director, George Finkel, and the head of field operations, Andrea Jenkins. Tremendous job by our entire crew tonight from the ballpark in Arlington. You mentioned the Yankees' struggles here in Texas. This year, they've won all 3. And they will win a series here in Arlington as O'Neill lines out to the shortstop Clayton. The Yankees have clinched the season series in Texas for the first time since 1983.
Yeah, I mentioned the struggles. The last 10 years, the Yankees here in Texas, the new ballpark, the old ballpark, 16-37 coming into tonight.
Paul O'Neill heads back to the dugout 0 for 5.
0 for 5. Not a happy camper, but you know what? Big sacrifice fly in that 6th inning where they were able to take the lead. Bernie, another big night, 3 for 4, 3 RBIs, hitting .351 to lead the American League now.
And leads all of baseball as well. Williams, the hero, against the Rangers Sunday with the 9th inning homer. Tonight, Scott Brocious, 3-run shot in the 8th as Wetland keeps Jeter close.
Another part of the Jeter game that he's improved, 24 stolen bases this year. 24 out of 30. Not just the power numbers, but pretty good speed also at first base.
Strike called, 0-1.
I mean, the running game is almost non-existent when you have Ivan Rodriguez behind the plate. He has thrown out 53% of the runners this year. Even though Wetland a little slow to the plate.
Angels now on top in the 7th inning, 2-1. If both scores hold, the Rangers would fall 2.5 behind. And remember, the Yankees play 5 against the Angels next week at Yankee Stadium. And the Rangers have 5 remaining with Anaheim as well. 1-2 on Williams.
Pretty much staying with the fastball as you look at the AL West standings. Yeah, game and a half behind the Anaheim Angels, in danger of going 2.5 back. Wetland just staying with the fastball down to Bernie Williams.
Who would have thought the Mariners would be in last place in the West? Orioles remaining in the wild card hunt, 8 behind the Red Sox. Complete game for Scott Erickson. Oakland over Detroit, 7-1. The Royals edging the Devil Rays by a run. So the Orioles pick up a game, now 7 out. Boston a 7-game lead over Baltimore. Mariners and White Sox now in the 10th. Orioles have what, 7 against the Red Sox in September?
6 out of the last 9 ball games. Still a chance. I mean, not a very good chance. No team has ever come back from 15.5 down at the All-Star break to go to postseason. But they're making a run at it, 31-10 since the All-Star break.
Cal Ripken a big homer today. Nervous anticipation, would you say?
Oh yeah, who's going to give him his first baseball? That's what he's thinking about. Got to find a way to get 3 more outs, and then he gets his first major league win.
In a brand new Yankee cap.
Oh, in 7th heaven right now.
Williams in the air to center. Goodwin could not make the catch. It rolls to the wall. Williams with his 4th run batted in of the night. A 2-out double. It is now 12-9 Yankees.
But Bernie Williams that time gets up on a high fastball from Wetland. Didn't bite at the low fastballs, makes him get it up. Watch it, middle of the plate, up. Boy, he just hammers this ball to straightaway center field. Goodwin runs out of real estate. Jeter able to score all the way from first base to add to this lead, make it 12-9 Yankees.
One more insurance run for Ryan Bradley's cause. Tino Martinez takes a strike. He's 1 for 5. So David Cohn will not win number 19. But Ryan Bradley with an opportunity to pick up career win number 1 in the major leagues at the age of 22. How old were you when you made your major league debut?
21. Yep, 21. Very similar to Ryan Bradley. Came up out of Seton Hall, spent a month in the minor leagues, and then made my debut with the Cleveland Indians in 1975. And I didn't know where I was. Never had my feet on the ground. Most people will say I still don't have my ground planted.
But do you know where you are?
Yes. Arlington, St. Louis. I get confused with all the travel we do.
Well hit to left center. Goodwin catches up to this one. And we finally head to the bottom of the ninth. Welcome back to the ballpark in Arlington. Rangers coming into this one leading after 7 innings this season, 56-1. They led tonight 9-8 heading into the 8th before Scott Brosius put the Yankees ahead with a 3-run homer. So this would be only the 2nd loss in 58 games for the Rangers when leading in the 8th inning.
It's more of an opportunity to say this is what the Yankee season has been all about. And maybe a little tale of reversal of fortune for the Rangers. Not able to get the good starting pitching. Today we saw them self-destruct in the field with 5 errors. Another one that should have been called an error when Clayton dropped the throw from Rodriguez.
Will Clark, Ivan Rodriguez, and Todd Zeile here in the 9th against Mariano Rivera.
Little insurance run in the top of the 9th. Jeter the walk, and then Bernie Williams the double to drive him home.
Gets by Knobloch, a leadoff single in the 9th for Clark. In the National League this afternoon, Randy Johnson now 4-1 as an Astro, the division-leading Astros. In the Central, Mets with a game lead over the Cubs in the wild card race. Mike Piazza, a grand slam. Braves lead the Mets by 13 games in the East. Giants in 10 keep pace in the wild card race. Giants 4 out. Cubs trail by a game. Reds shutting out the Expos by a 4-0 score. And the Philadelphia Phillies pulled through within a game of the 500 mark. Number 52 for Mark McGwire in a Cardinals loss. And the Brewers over the first place Padres. Ground ball to the right side. Martinez for 1. Back to first. Rodriguez beat the throw, but the Yankees get the force at second.
Remember what I said about Rivera on the scouting report? Fastball, fastball, fastball. He has not thrown anything but a fastball in the 2 innings of work. Nice job. Good hustle by Clark going in at second base. And Clark, good slide, takes out Jeter. Unable to turn the double play, but they get the leading lady at second base.
1 out. Todd Zeile 0 for 4. Rodriguez down at first. And a strike called 0-1. The tied run is on deck with the Yankees leading it 9. 12 runs on 17 hits for New York. Texas 9 runs, 12 hits, 5 errors. And a base hit into left field. First hit of the game for Zeile, and now the tying run will come to the plate.
I didn't expect anything else. I expected the tying run to come to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. Why not make it a 4.5-hour ball game?
Haven't we hit 4.5 already?
Oh, it feels like it, but hey, Ozzie Newson. I thought I was going to say that. We're in Dallas. Warren Newson here.
Zeile. Warren played football at the University of Georgia.
I knew I had a connection there. You see Zeile lining the base hit to left field.
Well, the longest 9-inning game for the Rangers this year, 4 hours, 6 minutes against the Yankees back in May, and we are approaching that, but it could end right here. Knobloch over to first, double play. And the New York Yankees have won number 94. It's the first career victory for 22-year-old Ryan Bradley in his major league debut. Bradley all smiles, did not allow a base hit. Rangers hit 4 homers, Yankees only 1, but it was the big blow in the 8th inning. It is our MCI play of the game off the bat of Scott Brocious.
I mean, pretty good pitch from John Wetland. Our MCI play of the game. Brocious goes after a fastball away, drives it over the head of Juan Gonzalez. Big 3-run home run for Brocious as the Yankees go 62 games over 500.
4 hours, 7 minutes. Bradley the win, Wetland the loss. Rivera saved number 33. Yankees win it by the score of 12-9. Join us Thursday on Fox Sports Net. You'll see the Angels and the Yankees, or the St. Louis Cardinals and the Atlanta Braves. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. Next week on FX Baseball Saturday night, it will be the Red Sox and the Angels. Out west, the Pirates and the Astros. Again, check local listings. Coming up next on FX, on the East Coast, 21 Jump Street. On the West Coast, the A-Team. For Rick Cerone and our entire crew, Kenny Albert saying so long from Arlington. Yankees win number 94. You've been watching Baseball Saturday Night on FX.